This is also a kind of love for talents, a kind of guilt for her next question. Of course, she cannot feel guilty, but as a person, it is better not to be so violent forever. What's the secret of Tulong Pavilion that we can't know? Cloud Dance glares at the Cha Fong, who is reading the martial arts book. His eyes flash a trace of fine light, but he looks puzzled. Because there is an ice core here. I didn't lift my head. I heard what she asked, but I didn't think about it, and I felt bald in an instant. Suddenly, he seemed to find that he said something he shouldn't say. He suddenly raised his head and stared at Yunwu with a trace of anger in his eyes. Cloud Dance touched his eyes, mouth slightly up, in different way, said, "Want to take back also impossible. Don't be angry, hurt. Break wind, listen to words. The corner of the mouth fierce a draw. Who are you?" Cha Fong stood up, and the color of vigilance reappeared. "Why are you so nervous? Afraid I know? If I don't know, do you think you're still alive?" Cloud Dance glanced at him. Eyes indifferent, sharp words. How can this man be a little nervous? Break wind, smell speech. Face instant iron green. Corners of the mouth twitch again, retort not to speak. Leisurely, his eyes returned to calm. He took back his eyes, sat back on the stool again, and continued to read his martial arts book, but he began to explain to Yunwu. There is only a heart here, and it is the heart of ice. Cloud Dance eyes meditation. Suddenly fierce lift eyes. Is frost say? The Cha breeze suspiciously glanced at Cloud Dance. How do you know him? He appeared for no reason, saying that unless I beat him. The Cloud dances the Mao light to brush past together helpless. But now she also doesn't understand to defeat him to have what relation with her. The break breeze hears but a smile. You're not fame very loud? Cloud Dance slightly pick eyebrows, pondered for a while. She is famous? I think so. She seemed to talk to herself and answer the question of break wind. That's it. Cha Fong carefully put down his martial arts book, stood up, and murmured he was poisoned with ice cold since he was a child. Later, the elder took him in and took out his heart with the forbidden technique of the academy. Only in this way can he live like a normal person. In order to take part in the Three Kingdoms competition and find out the people who framed him, he has been working hard to cultivate. He will challenge all the famous people, defeat them, and give them a chance to enter the Three Kingdoms competition. Cloud Dance listens to his words, as if can understand ice-cold poison is what poison. Shuang's eyes are as clear as ice, but she can't forget them. But she didn't know why flashed over the thing about Liu Bai's whole body is ice when she was a child, but it was just a moment when she was interrupted by the next words of Cha Fong. That's why he challenges you. You have to be careful. He's very talented. After that, Cha Fong glances at Yunwu. There's no worry and doubt in his eyes. Tell her this, even if it's the reward she gave him. Cloud Dance heard the corner of the mouth a yawn. Eyes emerge a touch of meditation. Here is only a piece of ice heart. Why do I always feel a strong spiritual power? Cha Fong frowned slightly, and his eyes looked at Yunwu with some puzzlement. What spiritual power? I'm here every day and night, and I've never felt it. Cloud Dance frowned slightly. Eyes skim a undercurrent. Every time she passes through Tulong Pavilion, she can feel a strong spiritual power in her body. How can he not feel it? Then Cloud Dance young lip smile way. Maybe my feeling wrong? Is the man who broke in that night your friend? Cha Fong looks at the Cloud Dance. A pair of eyes don't know what to think. Cloud Dance tiny as young. Eyes am I, then nod is. Cha Fong didn't expect her to reply so simply and directly. Her eyes sank slightly. He took away the Book of Heaven. Cloud danced the corner of the mouth a yawn. Look at him one eye. He takes away what all don't surprise. Anyway, you also can't stop him. The elder asked me who had been to Tulong Pavilion. The Cha breeze hears her words, facial expression a change. You have a good answer. Yunwu is picking at him. Break wind a lung. Eyes stare at her. Some can't believe. How do you know what I answered? Cloud Dance sneers. The corner of the mouth slightly moves. If you say us, the elders should talk to us, even if they know that there is no result. The corner of Cha Feng's mouth raised a similar bitter smile. She guessed right. He just told the elder that the man's martial arts was above him. When he left, He only saw a residual shadow. In this way, he brought the suspicion to all the people who were better than him, including them. He failed in his duty. I have no threat to Toulon Pavilion. You know that only mediocre people will disturb you. Cloud Dance looks at him. The eye sun doesn't get dim, the corner of the mouth a cold. The break breeze conceals the dim in the mouth sun, then nods, picked up advanced martial arts to continue to see. Cloud Dance glares at him one eye. Star Mao has to ponder. Not saying anything, a white residual shadow disappears then left. Chafong felt that after the Cloud Dance left, he lifted his eyes slightly, and his calm eyes concealed a touch of meditation. The night sky is as bright as the moon. Yunwu walked on the square of Inner College, still thinking about the spirit power in Toulon Pavilion, which seemed to disappear after the last time he saw Chafong. Is it a coincidence, or is Lingli related to Breakwind? Did you find it? In the night, a low voice broke the silence. Back to the master. Not yet. Another respectful voice followed. Keep looking. I'll die if I don't find you. There was a dull, low roar, with a trace of uncontrollable anger. Yes. In the dark, a black figure disappeared in the cold sky. Looking at the disappearing figure, the cloud dances in the dark, the corners of the mouth are tight, and the cold light in the eyes reveals. I'm afraid it's the breath of her whole life, which she will never forget. Beast Gate. The cloud dances, the eye ground passes a touch of undercurrent, deep as dead tan, in the bright light of the clear moon, especially cold. How did the people of the Beast Gate come to the Inner College? From the last selection contest? Then Yunwu shook her head. She didn't find the smell in the last selection contest. How did these two people get in? Did someone take care of them? Think of Cloud Dance. The eye bottom also can't hide the ice cold. 10,000 beast doors, claws, and teeth are more than she imagined. This time she can enter the Inner College, which shows that the Inner College already has their people, one right under her eyes. One in her eyes, but cannot let her detect abnormal people. Must be their master. Cloud Dance, lips pursed cold, eyes dark, such a dangerous thing. How can she not find out? Suddenly, a remnant passed by and chased the man in black who had just left. Baheo night sky. Purple figure is completely integrated in the night of stars. The black-robed man had just returned to the dormitory and was about to change his clothes. Suddenly, he felt a strong fight coming from behind him and managed to escape. Looking at the fighting spirit with purple light in the dark behind him, he was slightly shocked that it was the purple level talent, and he could not see the level of her martial arts. Who are you? The black-robed man looked at the Cloud Dance with an alert face. He didn't understand why a woman appeared in front of the boys' dormitory in the middle of the night. Cloud Dance mouth slightly a hook, showing a touch of cold and gorgeous blooming sneer. Suddenly, the purple fighting spirit immediately attacked. The black-robed man had no time to think, and the green fighting spirit was facing the purple fighting spirit that seemed to merge with the night. With the sound of a tremor, the elements of Cloud Dance wind wrapped around the body and took themselves and the people in black robes away from the boys' dormitory. In the quiet and fragrant flower garden, a remnant of shadow fell, one of which was dragged out and fell to the ground. The Cloud dances under the moonlight, staring at the black-robed people in the ground coldly, and remembers, who is your master in the Inner College? The black-robed man stood up with pain, and his sharp eyes looked at the Cloud Dance. I don't understand what you said. Cloud Dance mouth corner a cold, bloodthirsty smile again emerged. Don't understand. Nothing. I can explain to you. Ah! A shivering cry of pain tore the night apart. The man in black covered his blood, and his thigh, which was pierced by something, turned pale. The blood flows down the thigh of the man in black on the outside of the flower garden. Under the clear moonlight, the blood is bright red, just like the eyes of Cloud Dance at this time, full of bloodthirsty light. Do you know what I said? Cloud Dance stares at the black-robed man and sneers. The black-robed man looked at Yunwu, and his sharp eyes showed a sense of killing. Suddenly, his figure suddenly brushed and suddenly came towards Yunwu. You still don't understand. Sounds like purgatory demons resound again. Palms of a group of flame burning up, looking at the fast-coming shadow. Palm wind moment to meet. You are the purple pupil summoner. Ah, my face. Without waiting for him to finish, a strong sense of pain and burning made the man in black suddenly fall to the ground, and he could not get up again. The groan of pain filled the night again. At this time, outside the wooden house far away from the flower garden, the elder pharmacist looked at the scene, thinking in his eyes. Do you know now? Cloud Dance's eyes suddenly sink. Sun Han's voice patience has reached the limit. I don't understand what you're talking about. The man in black robe is suffering. His face is pale and ferocious. His blood is flowing and his skin is wrinkled. He looks even more ferocious now. Oh, your consciousness is not high. Cloud Dance's eyes are red. Instant a wind sword cut through the night, stabbed into the chest of the man in black. The black-robed man obviously didn't expect that she would kill him with just one word. His sharp eyes were full of panic and restlessness. Bloody attack died the night. Blood attack died pure. Cloud slightly frowned, call out Hongling. Master. As soon as Hongling appeared and saw the corpse on the ground, she cried out with some dissatisfaction. Yunwu frowned slightly and glanced at him. Clean him up for me. Hongling opened her mouth, just wanted to chew the entrance, and then suddenly stopped, or couldn't help looking back at Shang Yun Dance and said, Master, can I kill you next time? Anyway, I'm dying. It's good for the dead to let me eat some fresh meat before I die. Cloud Dance dry cough, slightly frown, cold way. Don't eat corpse also have no. Although she was dissatisfied, she began to clean the battlefield. After looking around, she found a corpse. I can't help muttering in my heart. What's the matter with my master these days? How did he stop killing? Yunwu naturally knows what Hongling is thinking, but she doesn't plan to talk to him. Just as she looks back, she sees the pharmacist elder smiling at her. She cast a look at the elder pharmacist, then turned and left, but she thought all the time. Did the people of the Beast Gate find her? Otherwise, how can we get all the way to Inner College? She has always been a face of disease. Outside the population of 9 Miss, Purple Pupil Girl has long disappeared. Who can trace here? Has only one result. There are 10,000 eyeliner in the college. She has been watched. At the thought of being watched, she felt an impulse to kill. One day later, Yunwu has been investigating the people of Wanwoman, but there is no major discovery. Now, her mind is on the promotion contest. She walked back to the class on the way. Suddenly, she heard a familiar voice. Smell the Mao light of speech, inside pass a silk cold idea. Cloud Dance me Mao Sun saw past. That gentle familiar back is not her elder sister, Cloud Star's son. Are you back for the promotion contest? Yun Xinger and a girl student talk about each other. When they turn around and leave, they find the Cloud Dance standing on her side, and the gentle and watery eyes pass by. Then he changed into a smile and walked slowly towards the Cloud Dance. Cloud Dance looks at the face that is getting closer and closer. The eye ground flashed a cold idea. However, the corner of the mouth is slightly young, a pair of light smile appearance. This Cloud Star son killed the real Cloud Dance with her 2 sisters of the Cloud family before. This account she naturally kept in mind, and she said that one day she would get it back. She's back, which seems to be a good thing for Yunwu. 9 younger sister, long time no see. Yun Xinger squints her beautiful eyes and looks at the Cloud Dance. There is a gentle smile in the corner of her mouth, but there is a sarcastic smile in the bottom of her eyes. As for the rumor of Cloud Dance, she heard some when she came back. To be honest, Yun Xinger, who has lived with Yunwu for more than 10 years, doesn't believe in the rumors about Yunwu. She's a waste. If it's not for the Cloud family, she doesn't believe she can come in. Cloud Dance, slightly jaw-head, eyes calm indifference, is a long time no see big sister. The last 2 words Cloud Dance deliberately pause, slowly read out. Cloud Star's son Lo Mao a smile, that a low head, beautiful Mao inside flash a ray of chili. Here younger sister soar all the way, directly into the college. Also want to participate in the college promotion competition? What my sister knows is very detailed. Cloud Dance sneer. that a touch of cold how can escape her eyes? Haha. Cloud Star Sun again Young laughs. I hope promotion contests don't meet sister. Otherwise I'm afraid we'll accidentally hurt sister. This cannot be very good looking. Smell speech. Cloud dance mouth slightly raised. Cloud Star Sun finish saying. Hook lip a smile of curl eyes Cloud dance. Eyes still gentle like water, but ruthless full meaning. Immediately, then turn to leave. The cloud dances over that to wipe body shadow one eye. The corner of the mouth stirs up one to wipe in cold smile. I'm afraid I might hurt her, right? What a pity. This is what she should say. However, just as Yun Xing'e left, a loud voice came from behind. 9 winches, grandfather came to see you. Grandfather? Cloud Dance listened to this familiar voice, slightly frowned, and then turned to look behind. See, the Cloud Chi of a face smile with open eyes is quickly walking toward her. It's really the master of the Cloud family. Looking at the happy Yunqi, Yunwu's eyes passed a little doubt. Grandfather, how did you come? This is the inner college. According to Cloud Dance, not everyone can enter the inner college. Even the students in the inner college can't leave at will. Why is he here? That's what I mean. My grandfather came to see you when he missed you. Yunqi goes to Yunwu and looks at Yunwu's puzzled look. He can't help but say. In fact, the old fox's Cloud Chi can't see her doubts. It's really puzzling for such an outsider to come into the inner college of Shenwang Samurai Academy. However, it's not the time to explain so much at this time. Grandfather, I remember it's not easy to enter the inner college. Don't tell me. It's your good friend who let you in. Yunwu looks at Yunqi with eyebrows. This little girl is really smart and hard to fool, but it's not the time to say that. It doesn't matter. When my grandfather wants to see his granddaughter, he can. Who can stop me? Cloud Chi says at this time, Beardy Yang, a face give me who appearance. Obviously, I don't intend to explain. Yunwu looks at Yunqi helplessly and thinks that Yunxing'er should have come back only yesterday. He just happens to miss her today. Isn't it a little too clever? Come on, what's the matter? Yunwu looks at Yunqi and asks helplessly. To this grandfather, although can't say unusual intimate, but it is also she came to this strange world the first identified relatives. It seems that there is a kind of delicate feeling between relatives. Even she can't understand it. Cloud Chia listened to. Haha, smile. I know you this ghost wench, but grandfather, something is true. Miss you is also true. This big voice just happened to be heard by the students of several inner colleges. All cast a suspicious glance at Yunwu here. If it wasn't for the back door, would the inner college come from outside? Most of the people in the inner college have heard of it. Yunwu came to the inner college through the back door. With a word from Yunqi, his grandfather revealed his identity. Several students cast a few scornful and sneering eyes at her, and some of them were envious and envious. They seemed to say that it was convenient to do anything with a back door. Cloud Dance feel those students look at her eyes, mouth slightly raised, eyes but suddenly a sink. Is this the rhythm of another fire? However, she didn't pay attention to the strange eyes of these students. Anyway, it's not the first time. Even though she always wanted to keep a low profile, things always seem to go the opposite way looking at the Cloud Dance for those eyes. A calm, indifferent appearance. Cloud Chi can't help but glance over a touch of comfort. This girl is really more and more calm. If at this time for others, it is estimated that the early hair of the bar. However, at this time, Yunqi didn't pay more attention to those, but looked at Yunwu, as if he was embarrassed and didn't know what to say. As soon as Yunwu saw his unspeakable appearance, he guessed what he wanted to say. Can't help of Mao Guang, tiny coldness way. Grandfathers want to say, let me let her a horse? The word she naturally refers to the cloud star just now. Cloud old son'll listen, immediately laugh again and pull open his big voice. Haha, worthy of as my granddaughter is clever. Yunwu's eyes sank slightly. However, he soon put up a faint smile and said, in fact, grandfather doesn't have to worry much. You know, I don't have any spare time and small characters to engage in those intrigues. During the competition, I will naturally follow the normal procedure. The competition is all over. Yunqi's eyes flashed a wry smile. How could he not understand what she said? Her meaning is very clear. As long as the Cloud Star Sun is not in a hurry to die, even if they meet in the game, she will not do anything to her. On the contrary, no wonder she, "Girl, can't you just let her off in the face of my grandfather?" Yunchi rarely low voice, some low tone of looking at Yunwoo. Cloud dance mouth corner coldly a smile. These granddaughters can be regarded as let him hold broken heart. All the way to come all the way. Also in order to save his granddaughter's life. "Grandfather, I've made it very clear that it's not a matter of face. In a conversation like this, you should go directly to your elder sister. Maybe you can persuade her to die while she's here." Cloud Dance glances at Cloud Chi, the complexity and indifference in her eyes. She is the grandfather identified, but does not mean that she can tolerate that Cloud Star Sun again and again want her life. So, after that, Yunwoo didn't say anything to Yunchi, so she turned and left. Yunchi looks at Yunwoo's back and sighs. The Cloud Mansion, in addition to the sick 9 winches, each winch is competitive. What can't bear? If the big girl still wants to kill the 9 girls this time, with the temperament of the 9 girls, you can see his face once or twice, but you don't have to on the quiet road. A sigh sounded again. Yunwoo, who has been hiding at the corner, hears the sigh, and his eyes are complex. Then he gets up and refuses to leave. She has a principle in her work. She will pay back those who hurt her and hurt her 10 times. In his face, she may let the Cloud Star go once or twice, but can again and again and again of tolerance. The annual promotion contest of inter-college begins. However, this year's competition is different from previous years. This year's competition has been changed to a simple and direct mode of setting up a challenge arena within the college, but it is also the competition that can best see everyone's strength. It's exciting for more people. It's not necessary to say that there are so many experts participating in this year's competition. What's more important is that everyone devotes himself to training for this year's 3 Kingdoms competition. At the moment, they are all rubbing their hands. The referee of this competition is 5 elders. Compared with the nervous and excited mood of the students, the elders are more looking forward to it. Every year's promotion competition, we will see an extremely fierce confrontation. This year will be more exciting. 5 elders intentionally or unintentionally glanced at other people in Yunwoo, with a smile of expectation hidden in the corner of their mouth. The promotion contest is divided into 10 rings. The first one is a scuffle. The last one who stays in the ring wins, and the rest is a contest among 10 people. This competition is extremely cruel. Everyone has worked hard for more than a year, but if he meets a player who is higher than himself on the stage, he may be eliminated in only 1 second, and there is no chance of the second round. Cloud Dance looks at the challenge arena that has been set up a few days ago, and its mouth is slightly raised. But at this time, suddenly feel not far away to sweep a touch of abnormal cold eyes. Looking back, is bumping into Cloud Star Sun a face gentle smile to look at her. Yunwoo takes back her eyes, and the arc of her mouth becomes cold. The first second is cruel, and the second is gentle. How different is this woman? And sitting beside her, Long Qingxie glances at Yun Xinger intentionally or unintentionally, and his mouth is raised. Can she touch his woman? Suddenly, Yunwoo felt a touch of dark and gloomy breath sweeping. He looked up and looked at the pale and smiling face of Shang Liubai. The cloud dances, the eyes squint. For a moment, she felt that his breath was almost the same as that of Mo Bai, but she didn't think deeply about it. She only attributed it to the fact that he had lived in the dark since he was a child. The students of inter-college gathered almost. Unconsciously, the sun has risen, and the real competition also began. Yunwoo knows that if you want to win the Three Kingdoms competition this time, you must use your real strength. However, it also represents the exposure of the identity of her ninth miss as the purple pupil girl, and also represents a wave of enemies' pursuit and murder. Cloud Dance's mouth is cold, and it has been quiet for a long time to increase self-cultivation. Now, maybe it's time to change the actual combat test. There are free prey sent to her door to try. It seems good. What's more, it's time for some accounts to be settled one by one. The inner college is not as lively as the outer college. Everyone's expression is very deep. They strive to enter the college in addition to upgrading their own accomplishments, but also for the goal of hard work, that is to participate in the Three Kingdoms competition. This year's participation in the Three Kingdoms competition is different from that in previous years, with a total of 7 places. All the top 7 can be promoted, and the first place will play a leading role in the next training. Hearing these words, Yunwoo's eyes suddenly brightened and his mouth was filled with an unpredictable smile. Take the lead? Doesn't that mean that you can have a strong hand to command for yourself? Maybe those people can't really use it for themselves. However, during the trial period, if there is a beast gate or something, it is definitely a gunner who can kill. Very good. It seems that she will win the first place of the leader this time. And around her, Long Qingxie, Zhou Feiyu, and Shang Guan. 3 people who are going to be promoted. See the excitement in her eyes. Can't help but pass by a smile and cry. This woman, if she takes the lead, will they die soon? After each of the 5 elders announced the rules of the game officially began. Number 1 Challenge Arena, Chuanqing, Imo Yinling, Yunwu. Number 2 Challenge Arena, Supreme, Dragon's Evil Spirit. Number 3 Challenge Arena, Nanganji. Number 4, Zhou Feiyu. 5 Shengguan. When Yunwu heard about the members of Number 5 Challenge Arena, she was a little depressed. Was the ranking deliberately arranged? She, Long Qingxie, Nangang Yi, Zhou Feiyu, Shangguan, was divided into 5 different challenge arena. She was thinking of solving 2 problems in the first round, and she could relax in the final. Now when she heard the last 10 challenge arena, her eyes became darker. Shuangzi, Liu Bai, who had been trying to beat her, and who had just come back from training that day, were all assigned to different challenge arena. That is to say, there is still a direct contest between them all, and the strength of these people can't be underestimated, except for the dragon, Shangguan, Nanganji, and Zhou Feiyu. She can't see their strength. The person who can make her not see the strength is absolutely not simple, especially that Shuangzi, who has always been a dragon without a tail, and those 2 people, who have been practicing outside for 1 year, should be very good at martial arts, but they didn't do their best that day. Yunwu frowned slightly, glanced back at the dragon, and said indifferently, "What do you do? He can't expose his strength. Can he? Who knows? Dragon Shing evil but show a touch of unfathomable, evil smile. For my husband come to have a way, you don't have to worry." Cloud Dance slightly droops a mow. Why'd he want I then no longer look at him? He says there is a way, certainly no problem. Why need she worry more? But she is still very curious. He has a way to solve so many experts one by one. Weifu is looking forward to your fight. In front of the stage, the evil dragon whispered in her ear, and the color of Cloud Dancing eyes suddenly changed. 9 girls, come on. Grandfather supports you. Suddenly, in the crowd, a big voice hit Yunwu again. In an instant, the originally moving crowd, but at the moment, they are still looking back at Yunqi with a loving face. The cloud dances, the back is fiercely cool. Can't this old man keep a low profile? She didn't look back, as if she didn't know her or didn't call her at all, and stepped into the challenge arena under the gaze of everyone. But Zhou Feiyu's cold light shot out of his eyes and glared at the crowd, who immediately closed their mouths. 7 kings of Zhou dynasty, the legendary young god of war, who dares to offend. And Dragon Qingxie, Nangong Yi, and Shangguan have been on the stage at this time. Under the black veil, the dragon's evil mouth outlines a smile, glances at Zhou Feiyu, and his eyes are deep. It seems that it's time to let him know that his woman can't covet it. And Zhou Feiyu seemed to feel a touch of cold light, looking back at the location of the dragon. I saw that Zhou Feiyu's eyes, as if the same pair is to want to prove the fairness. Cloud Dance will belong to his posture. Cloud Dance is glaring at 2 people. The Mao light passes a silk chili. The man is full. Hold on. Long Qingxie touched the chill on her body, slightly raised the corner of his mouth, and looked at her lazily, while Zhou Feiyu stepped into the challenge arena with a little deep meaning. The game begins. On the arena, A touch of fighting spirit collided, and the light emitted was comparable to the sun's brilliance, like a flash of lightning in the night, like the last touch of sunset at dusk. In just 1 hour, the number of people left in the 10 Challenge Arena is very few. The Challenge Arena is surrounded by students who have been left behind one after another. Some of them are resentful, some are not reconciled, and some of them have not participated in the 2 promotion contests and lost their confidence. Yunwoo looks at the few people left in the arena and glances at the number 2 Challenge Arena where Dragon Qingxie is, but sees that he is just hiding where he has a chance. Some people really can't get used to his way of winning by hiding. When he chases him in circles, he will defeat the enemy with a move that is blocked by an outsider's sight, and then he begins to dodge again. Yunwoo looks at the dodging Dragon Qingxie. 3 black lines appear on his forehead, and the corners of his mouth slightly draw. Is he going to hide in the first place like this? That's what he said. There's a way? Cloud Dancem can't laugh or cry, but actually feel some doubts. With her understanding of Dragon, this is definitely not his so-called way. She also noticed what Long Qingxie had done. Zhou Feiyu saw it all in his eyes. His eyes were heavy, and he looked at him from time to time. Cloud Dance, Willow, eyebrow low. In front of so many experts with dodge cannot be thrown off the stage. I'm afraid that individuals will feel strange, right? In the end, only Cloud Dance's number 1 arena is left unfinished, and the other 9 have been completed. What's left on the number 1 challenge arena are Yunwoo and Yunxing'er. Everyone knows that Yunwoo is the daughter of Yunda General, and Yunxing'er is also the daughter of Yunda General. Now they want PK. This makes the match point of the challenge arena rise to a certain height. What's more strange is that the number 1 in the second challenge arena is the legendary waste. Everyone is a little tongue-tied. Can the rumored Dragon 3, the rumored Trash, beat so many experts to enter the final? Will he hide his strength like the 9th lady? How did he do it? It's just a trick to win. It's useless at all. A man who was intrigued by Dragon Qingxie had a quiet and resentful look in his eyes. How could Miss 9 take a fancy to him? That's to say, not only are they ugly and useless, but they also use some mean and dirty means. I don't know what Miss 9 thinks. Maybe it's the Emperor's marriage. I can't resist the order. I'm forced. All the people in the college look at Long Qingxie, look at him with disdain, point to him, and say that he plays moves and doesn't deserve Cloud Dance, and so on. It's just that they forgot when they said they were a perfect match. Long Qingxie seems not to care at all, still calmly and lazily standing on the stage, looking at the Cloud Dancing side with beautiful eyes. As far as he is concerned, as long as it's not slandering and hurting Yunwoo, his words are not worth studying. The Cloud dances the corner of the mouth to close tightly. The sun-cold Yusen's vision swept the stage, everyone one eye, with that belongs to her indifference, arrogance posture. Abruptly, let everyone shut up. You don't need to know what I think. You just need to know that he is my fiancé. Now shut up. Cloud Dance coldly glares at the stage. Eyes light, undercurrent turbulent. Cannot accept. Challenge Arena is here. Come up. For a moment, the hustle and bustle of the crowd heard her words, suddenly quiet down. Everyone looked at each other, although dissatisfied, but no longer dared to speak. Although many of them think that Cloud Dance entered the inner college only after going backstage, many of them have seen the strength of Cloud Dance. That strange and powerful power is enough to make people feel scared up to now. What's more, although she doesn't show all her strength now, she still stands on the challenge arena. It can be seen that her strength is not weak. Now who has nothing to look for? When the 5 elders heard the speech, they coughed 2 times. They didn't hear it because the rules of the game didn't specify that they were not allowed to play tricks. The only way to win was to stand on the stage until the end. Cloud Chi haha smile. Sharp-eyed son looking at Long Qing evil way. My grandson-in-law, as expected, not bad. In fact, Yunchi was shocked and surprised at the beginning. Originally, it was a waste, but how could the old fox Yunchi not see some signs of the dragon's performance in the challenge arena? That can't be a waste. The only possibility is that he is hiding his strength, just like the 9 girls in his family at the beginning. As for why he hides his strength, he thinks it's similar to cloud dance. It's just some reasons. Otherwise, how can he get the heart of his gorgeous granddaughter? After the game is quiet, Yunwoo takes back her cold eyes and looks back at Yunxinger, who is opposite, with a trace of coldness. After so long experience, her strength has improved a lot. 9 younger sister, didn't expect today you and I will divide the victory and defeat. Elder sister really can't bear to start. Cloudstar Sun saw one-eye cloud dance. Gentle water like eyes flashed a touch of complex. Give a person a kind of, she very don't want to see this scene of tenderness. But Yunwoo saw a trace of ferocity in the depths of her eyes, a trace of happiness that was about to relieve her anger. Cloud dance can't be outlined by the corner of the mouth. However, Yunwoo glanced at Yunchi standing in the crowd and raised her eyebrows slightly. It seemed that she was telling him that no matter what the result was, I was helpless. Kanyang insinuated in the arena. 2 completely opposite figures. Each has its own merits. One is as tender and charming as water. A cold as frost. It's said that you killed my mother and poisoned my 3rd sister. Today I'll teach you a lesson for them. Cloud Star Sun mouth wipe a touch of beautiful smile. The voice of the voice, but with a trace of cold anger. The people in the challenge arena didn't hear what she said. They just saw that her face outlined by the corner of her mouth was so bewitching that they couldn't help shouting. Cloud dance smell speech. The corner of the mouth die a touch of sun cold smile. Look at Cloud Star Sun. Is it? Let's see if you have the ability. Although she promised Yunchi that she would let her go as long as she didn't give up. But she didn't say that she wouldn't force her to do it. In addition to killing people, she is also good at provoking a person's patience, because she is a very impatient person. The Cloud Star Sun hears her words, the facial expression slightly a change. The beautiful water mouth passes a silk chili. Looking at Yunwoo's cold and resolute appearance, she realized clearly that the waist in front of her was really different from before. Then try it. Suddenly, Yunxinger's voice fell, and the blue fighting spirit instantly condensed, and she flashed out from her palm, straight to the cloud dance. She used 80% of her strength to test the real strength of Yunwoo. Cloud Dance looked at the blue fighting spirit that hit, and the corners of his mouth outlined slightly. Turn over the palm. A strange red-tinged purple fighting gas suddenly soared into the air. Just in the blink of an eye, the blue fighting spirit was destroyed and disappeared from the air. But the purple fighting spirit breaks through the blue fighting spirit, cuts through the wind layer, and hits the clouds and stars. Cloud Star Sun suddenly is surprised, face a change of moment, figure a turn, quickly avoid, and purple fighting gas brush by. The purple fighting spirit rushed into the number 2 challenge arena in an instant, and the number 2 challenge arena seemed to be attacked by something. Only a touch of purple fighting spirit rose. Clang. With a loud noise, purple gas erupted, sawdust flying in the air. The whole number 2 arena was shocked out of 6 ferocious and twisted cracks. The people under the stage were shocked at the scene. Is it martial arts? Besides, it seems to be advanced martial arts. Everyone under the stage looked at the scene and was shocked. What kind of strength is purple talent combined with such martial arts strength? It is said that Miss Nine, who came in backstage, is not rubbish at all, but is it true that the rumors in the inner college are true that the 9th lady has been hiding her strength? How can it be so adverse? Except for Long Qingxie, Nangong Yi, Shangguan, Lu Bai, and Zhou Fiyu. No one can see through the strength of her whooshing peak. Cloud Star Sun beautiful eyes ami. Eyes of shock have anger. Her strength, however, the Cloud Star Sun, but quickly put away the bottom of the heart of the shock, but still show extremely gentle and reasonable. I didn't expect that Jiumei was a purple talent. It seems that she really underestimated her sister before. The Cloud Star Sun coagulates the cloud to dance. The eye ground twinkled to pass an unusual obscure undercurrent. How can a waste that has been turned into waste since childhood and has been sick for more than 10 years become such a waste in such a short period of months? What happened to her? If it is, it can't stay. Cloud Dance sneered and pulled the corner of his mouth, and his tone was a little crazy. "So, do you already have consciousness?" "What did you say?" Cloudstar Sun 10,000 didn't expect she will ask so. "Don't know to feel lung for a while." "I said you'd done a damn awakening?" Cloud danced the corner of the mouth sneer, slightly a smile. The disdain in the eyes make Cloudstar Sun immediately feel humiliated. "To die." Yunshinger's fierce eyes gradually began to emerge. As soon as the wind was cold and his figure was shaking, he suddenly danced towards the clouds again. In his hand, he had a long sword with green light. The long sword was like a serpent, with dark green on, especially the two eyes on the hilt, with dark purple and black light. Cloud Dance's eyes narrowed slightly. Wind element-wrapped body, a sudden rotation, instantly appeared in the Cloudstar Sun behind, a touch of imperceptible shadow in and out. "Ah!" With a scream, Cloudstar Sun fell to the ground. For a moment, his forehead was sweating, his face was as white as snow, and his eyes were surprised and indignant. Just for a moment, it was a time when she didn't have time to react. With the climax of the attack, the crowd under the challenge arena suddenly became lively. "What happened? How did she get knocked down?" "I only see a red shadow." "What is it?" But at this time, I don't know who screamed out. That seems to be the fire element control, which only the summoner can control." "What summoner?" "Summoner?" The audience was stunned when they heard the three words of summoner. It is impossible for the whole mainland of China not to know what the summoner stands for. But it was too clear, so everyone felt shocked. Calling is a kind of mysterious and sacred profession, which disappeared hundreds of years ago. Is this girl a summoner? Isn't that shocking? However, some time ago, news came out that there was a multi-department girl summoner with purple eyes in Longzuguo. There is also a rumor that not long ago, there was a summoner girl in Lingqing outside Shenwang Samurai Academy. Is this Miss Yunjiajio? It's just that Miss Nine's eyes are black, not purple. Is it possible? But at this time, the surprised eyes of all the people present were directly locked on Yunwu, with a look which naturally included Yunshinger, who fell on the ground. Her eyes sank, and she was surprised and killed. Suddenly, she thought of the national teacher's prediction that the summoner would be born in the Cloud House, and she was also one of the 9 young ladies of the Cloud family. Could it be that the original meaning of the national teacher was not 9 ladies, but only 9 ladies? Miss Nine Cloud Dance? Yunshinger's water eyes were stunned for a moment. Immediately, she stared at Yunwu. Is she a summoner? Although the burning sensation was just a flash, she obviously felt the burning pain. Now her back skin is still burning. The speed, the real flame, the Cloudstar Sun beauty, Mao Zhongran, Mao bottom surface 1 white chili. She unexpectedly is really summoner. Except for Yunqi, the 5 elders, and Long Qingxie. Few of them could see exactly what Yunwu used to hit Yunshinger. Grandfather asked me to let you go. Do you want this favor? Cloud Dance, mouth slightly young, eyes with a sneer. See Cloudstar Sun to hear this words, facial expression immediately iron green. Cloud Dance this sentence is a direct blow to her arrogant self-esteem, her arrogant temperament. How can allow anyone to plead for her? Even if it's her grandfather, it's the same. What's more, Yunqi has only been cheering for Yunwu since then, and has never called for her support at all. This makes Yunshinger's heart more angry. It's no doubt worse than killing her. The Cloud dances the corner of the mouth to brush to put on a strange sneer. She guesses next Cloudstar Sun will certainly start to be more ruthless. If not, Yunshinger stood up again with a touch of een in his mouth. Yunwu, if I don't kill you today, I'm afraid I'll regret it in the future. The Cloud dances to stare at her one eye. The eyes are indifferent. I'm afraid you haven't that ability yet. Cloudstar Sun sneers a Mao light as sink. For a moment, Yunwu felt the sound of air condensation. The challenge arena, which used to be sunny, now became dark with the air condensation. A touch of dark cloud filled with yellow lightning fell from the sky and hung on the number 1 challenge arena. Everyone in the challenge arena was surprised to see this scene. What is this cloud? How come it's just on top of them? Yes, dark clouds with lightning. Everyone was surprised by the cloud, including Long Qingxie and several others. Dragon Qingxie looks at Cloud Dance and Cloud Star Sun top of head of dark cloud, has been languid smile of facial expression, at the moment incredibly tiny is stiff, Mao light also dark sink a minute. In the South Palace, that seemed to have calm and indifferent Mao sun, see dark cloud, but pass by a touch of worry at the moment. It's Wu Mingxiu. After Nangong Yi's voice fell, many people on the scene turned pale. What? Wu Mingxiu? This is the legendary Wuming art? Yunqi looks at Yunwu and the dark clouds on Yunxing'er's head. Her sharp eyes squint, and a little bit of surprise passes by. Then Mao Guang moves on the Cloud Star Sun body on the stage, sullen low way. Star Sun, how can you use Wu Ming technique? Yunxinger takes a look at Yunqi. His eyes droop slightly, and he dodges a little. Let my granddaughter explain this to my grandfather in the future. Let's finish the game with my sister today. When the five elders heard the 3 words of Wu Mingxiu, their pupils shrank. When they looked up at the dark cloud, they all looked at each other. There was surprise, doubt, and meditation in their eyes. Cloud Dance Mao Guang am I. Hear Cloud Chi say Wu Mingxiu. In the brain, immediately spread white old voice. Girl, it's witchcraft. It's a forbidden and powerful witchcraft of the dark family in the witch clan. Be careful. Powerful witchcraft? This Cloud Star Sun is the big miss of Cloud family. It seems that it has nothing to do with the witch family. How could she know witchcraft? Yunwu can't help but feel a little cold, because she suddenly thought that she didn't find the man who killed Lu Qingyue. Is there any other witch people in the Cloud family besides the housekeeper? The Cloud Star's witchcraft today represents the Cloud Dance, and his heart is very clear. It is estimated that the witch is the 3rd lady of the Cloud family, the mother of Yunxing. Yunwu glanced at Yunxinger. Her eyes were as cold as frost. It seems that it is necessary to wake up the 3rd lady of the Cloud family. Cloud Home will be her Cloud Dance protect the territory. However, this woming skill has been banned for thousands of years. Since then, the method of cultivating and controlling it has been lost. At this time, it has reappeared, but I don't know if it's a real coincidence. Yunxinger looks at the Cloud Dance coldly, with a trace of bloodthirsty madness in his eyes. Only Cloud Dance can feel this. At this time, Long Qingxie suddenly stood up with dark eyes. He was about to walk to the challenge arena, but he was stopped by Yunwu's eyes. I'll take care of it myself. Cloud Dance coagulates the dragon to pour evil one eye, then draw back the vision to see to the top of the head black cloud. She saw deep and worried in Long Qingxie's eyes, and his expression told her that this wombing skill was not simple, and she doesn't need to be merciful anymore. She still has to do her best when it's time to do it. Long Qingxie was stunned for a moment. Then he pulled the corner of his mouth slightly, put down his half-foot step, and returned to his seat again. What a stubborn little thing. Nangong Yi glances at Long Qingxie, who returns to his seat again. His indifferent eyes pass a trace of depth, and then he returns to normal and continues to pay attention to the challenge arena. Lu Bai, who has been living in the crowd, looks at the dark clouds of lightning on the head of Cloud Dance, and his empty and dark eyes flash a breath of cold. Similarly, Shangguan's eyes are also that expression. When Yunwu looks back at the dragon's evil spirits, she accidentally catches a glimpse of their respective strange anomalies. Her eyes sink down, and a sneer appears at the corner of her mouth. It seems that each of them has some secret in his heart. Cloud Dance died. Suddenly, Yunxinger roared with deep hatred, and a black fire with lightning hovered in his palm, just like the dark fire in hell, with huge potential energy. And the cloud on the top of Yunwu's head seemed to feel something. Suddenly, it split and crackled, just like an electric shock. The yellow lightning burst continuously, whips a residual shadow in the air, and instantly dies. All of a sudden, the whole cloud sky seemed to be infected by it and became golden. The black cloud gradually became a cluster of black fire with yellow light under the impact of lightning. It's weird and gloomy. It's like seeing the prison. Everyone looked at the variation of the mid-air. Look, Muna. No one thought a college promotion competition unexpectedly will meet such a big surprise. In the college, few people know about witchcraft, but they have heard about some ancient legends. What's more, some people who have heard of witchcraft have been agitated to spread the gossip around. As the name suggests, wombing art is a dark cloud like the coming of Hades. It absorbs trace elements from nature to increase its own ability. It's just a single dark cloud. Ordinary people can die on the spot if they are hit by a single blow. If it's a dark cloud that has absorbed trace elements, if it's hit on the front, it will fly out in an instant, and the slag will not be saved. It's because it's so vicious that it's banned. 9 winches, be careful. The cloud old sun looks at the half sky, strange, sudden change. The facial expression suddenly a dark. At this time, he didn't think about letting Yunwu release Yunshinger. He only thought about Yunwu's safety. The cloud dances the corners of the mouth indifferently to sneer at the top of the head of the black cloud. A pair of purple pupil, Mao bloodthirsty cold. Suddenly, a purple figure jumped up in the air in an instant, holding an old black flame knife in his hand, at the moment of approaching the dark clouds. The cloud wields the big knife, condenses the purple fighting spirit, cuts the air current, splits to the dark cloud. All of a sudden, a strange light swallowed the black flame dagger. The cloud danced, the purple pupil changed, and a gust of Lingfeng galloped through a vortex in the dark cloud. At the moment of hurricane whirlpool, cloud dance instantly drew back the big knife. The fierce hurricane opened a gap. Cannot surprise people. Immediately see that to the gap, the moment will be condensed. There's no time to react. Bang! With a dark light burst out, the cloud-dancing purple shadow was hit instantly and fell down straightly. Cloud dance! Cloud dance! Little 5. At the moment when the audience was shocked, several figures stood up and worried. Only then, suddenly, a white shadow of the audience passed by and immediately stopped in the challenge arena and received the landing cloud dance. It's the dragon. He was followed by Nangong, Yi, and Zhou Feiyu. Long Qingxia looks at the half-comatose cloud dance in his arms. His evil and bloodthirsty eyes are surging. There is a smile on the corner of his mouth. It's a frightening smile. It's a smile on behalf of death. My woman, who hurts, who dies. A bone-piercing sound, like the ghost sound coming from the edge of hell, vibrates in everyone's ears like a sound wave, which makes everyone excited. At the moment when Long Qingxia wanted to get up, a hand caught his arm. What's the hurry? A slight hissing sound came out. Hearing the sound, Long Qingxia suddenly lowered his head and found that Yunwu had opened his eyes and stood up slowly from his arms. Cloud Dance wipes the bloodstain on the corner of his mouth, glances at Long Qingxia and the 2 people behind him, and the smile on the corner of his mouth rises. However, at this time, her eyes flashed a touch of bone-biting chill. You all go down, I'll solve it myself. Long Qingxia stopped for half a second and didn't move. Then he thought deeply about her and decided that she was okay before he would go down. However, when she left Yunwu, only she could hear the voice passing by. Little thing, be careful. If you are hurt again, I will kill you. Cloud Dance mouth a yawn. Bloodthirsty smile looms in purple pupil eyes. The first time is careless, but she will never allow a second time. Cloud Star Sun looks at Cloud Dance. The corner of the mouth puts on a trace of gentle complacency. Younger sister, what's the taste of being hit? It's just a little aftershock. Why can't you carry it? Everyone in the challenge arena took a breath. They have heard of the legendary wombing skill, but they never thought it was so powerful. Now I see that Yunwu just hit so hard, but it didn't help at last. On the contrary, it was shot down by the counterattack, and even wiped a cold sweat. And she said it was just a little bit of aftershock. Isn't it true that the real power can destroy people in an instant? Someone sighed in secret. Some people are very surprised. There are also people watching the bustle. A pair of who died do not matter. Cloud Dance sneered at her one eye. The taste of this blow is good. Completely inspired my fighting spirit. Voice of fall. See Cloud Dance hand a turn. Two fire elements jump out of the moment, suddenly buckle. In the twinkling of an eye, you can see a clearly visible fire dragon rushing towards Yunshinger in an instant. The speed is as fast as lightning. The burning sensation makes Yunshinger unable to open his eyes. In the next second, Cloudstar Sun palm a wave, a touch of wind suddenly toward fire dragon attack. And the Cloud Dance mouth corner cold hookup, but a pair of not warm, not fire appearance has been bloodthirsty cold looking at the Cloudstar Sun. How can her wind attribute fight against a real flame? She looks forward to her next reaction. Cloudstar Sun looks at the fire dragon that pours in front of her. Beautiful Mao dull of a stare. She absolutely didn't expect. Her wind attribute unexpectedly didn't stop the fire dragon to sneak into of a shred. At this time, the fire dragon that had already rushed in front of her seemed to have no chance for her to react. The light of the fire reflected on her face, and everyone widened their eyes and looked at the next scene. There is a sneer from the corner of Cloud Dance's mouth, a strange and bloodthirsty smile from Long Qingxia, a calm and gentle smile from Nanganji, a domineering smile from Zhou Fiyu, a self-inflicted look from Shangwan, and a trace of evil light from Liu Bai's dark eyes. All but a few of them are dull. Ah! A scream was enough to carry out heaven and earth, which shocked the whole Shenwang Samurai Academy 3 times. The heart-rending scream diffused in the haze of the disappearance of the fire dragon. In the hazy, a face that can be regarded as bewitching, half of which was burned beyond recognition. The smell of barbecue filled everyone's nose. The skin and flesh of that face dragged, as if it had been bitten by something. It was ferocious, pitted, and the fine flesh in the skin was swallowed by blood. Because of the shaking of her body, she could vaguely see the charred half-hanging meat, shaking and shaking, a miserable look. Everyone at the scene looked at Yin Xingya, so shocked that they couldn't say a word. How cruel! However, when people put their eyes on a pair of purple and bloodthirsty Yunwu, they held their breath and did not dare to move. That pair of purple pupil eyes blooming with awe-inspiring purple eyes on, full of cold, but her mouth is raising a smile. That smile, dark, bloodthirsty, cold. Isn't this a typical bloodthirsty devil? But purple eyes? She has purple eyes now? Is she really the summoner with purple eyes in the rumor some time ago? Oh my God! The crowd was shocked when the 5 elders saw this. They could not help twitching. It's just a friendly match. How can it become such a tragic scene? How many grudges have accumulated between the 2 young ladies of the Cloud family? Why is this fight so uncontrollable? However, it seems that the 5 elders present are not surprised that Yunwu is a summoner. That's right. The Liuzi of the Outer College knows the identity of the Cloud Dance summoner, so the Inner College may have received the news earlier. As for why they remain silent, only they themselves know. That's a friendly competition. It's all over the clock. The Elder Tower looks at the strange atmosphere and tries to stop it. And the other 4 elders glanced at Yin Qi at the same time, as if to say, the 2 granddaughters are fighting like this. Don't you stop them? Yin Qi's sharp eyes narrowed slightly, looking at Yunwu's killing intention, and then looking at Yunshinger's resentment in her eyes. She sighed helplessly. He wants Yunwu to sell him face, but he also needs Yunshinger's cooperation. He shook his head at the 4 elders, which meant let them go. The 4 elders were slightly stunned and looked at each other. In this way, the competition could not even stop him. They have a look at Yunwu and Yunshinger. They're clear about Yunwu's strength. Even if they stop Yunshinger, I'm afraid Yunshinger won't agree. They just turn a blind eye and let them go. But I can't help thinking that when the game is over, I must add a rule. I can't hurt the other side's life. Just like the 2 of them, they hurt one at a time. Within a few years, the Shenwang Samurai Academy became a cemetery for the students. You hurt my face. Yunshinger's eyes are burning with anger, and the corners of his mouth are twitching with resentment. Looking at Yunwu's eyes, he wants to tear her to pieces immediately. The Cloud dances the corner of mouth slightly yawn. The eye light is suffused with bloodthirsty cold on. Sun Liang Wei. Hurt again, how? And I want to kill you. Ha ha. Cloudstar Sun suddenly laughs wildly. completely did not have in the past gentle water appearance. With a burnt-out half-face, the whole person looked gloomy and ferocious. Then try it. Suddenly, the cloud star sun palm turn, a touch of dark breath, once again on the seat that wiped cloud. All of a sudden, Yinxing'er jumped up in the sky. She stood on the dark cloud above, only to see that the cloud just calmed down in the sky, and strange changes have taken place. Cloud Dance looks at the abnormality after the dark cloud changes. The eye light passes a trace of surprise. The corner of the mouth sneer suddenly is stiff. But soon it's gone. All the people present were tongue-tied when they looked at the change of the dark clouds, as if they saw something frightening. Long Qingxie, Nangong Yi, Zhou Feiyu, Shangguan, and Lu Bai are all slightly stunned. Then a few people were cold. The dark cloud in midair gradually condensed into a shining unicorn, fierce, red eyes and fangs, just like a real unicorn. Roar! Suddenly, the unicorn gave out a roar, which seemed to be accompanied by great power. Although there were people on the scene, their eardrums were shaking, painful, and buzzing. Dark clouds? The crowd looked at the unicorn beast transformed from Wu Mingshu again, and the shock in their eyes was like a surging river. How powerful and terrifying it is to be able to transform Wu Ming into a beast. Even thousands of years ago, there are few people who can transform Wu Ming into a beast. What's more, this Wu Ming skill is forbidden by the witches. After the destruction of the witches, it almost disappeared long ago. Now this cloud star can the five elders looked at the unicorn in the air, and a shock flashed through their eyes. But soon, there was a trace of worry in the eyes of the five elders. If the unicorn was really angry, they would have to fight. Otherwise, the college will have to be demolished. Kill her for me. Yunxinger points to Yunwu. There is a trace of scarlet in his eyes. His eyes are as sharp as a knife. He wants to kill Yunwu immediately. Unicorn seems to have life in general. After hearing the command, it suddenly comes to Chaoyan Dance. The speed was swift and violent, and there was a strong force of darkness on his body. The sense of oppression and suffocation seemed to thin the air. Cloud Dance mouth corner a cold. Mao Guang suddenly a mi, hands clasp. Fire dragon. Suddenly, a fire dragon, which was really a flame, took shape in an instant and attacked the unicorn beast. However, Fire Dragon is just the beginning. Then he saw Yunwu's hands churning up and shouting again. Millennium Rot Tan, a bright and green vine, came out of nowhere and surrounded the unicorn. 10,000 swords free. In the void, dense and sharp blue water elements turned into a sharp sword, with a breath of cold crystal, shooting straight at the unicorn. The cloud star on Kylan's back saw this and said, "You have 4 attributes at the same time?" She had just seen Cloud Dance use wind and fire and didn't feel any difference. The box is, now see her unexpectedly, still make an addition to wood and water 2 kinds of elements. The facial expression is a little pale unexpectedly for a moment. 4 elements in one summoner. It goes without saying that people are very clear about what this means. Cloud Dance corner of the mouth a hook. Bloodthirsty look at her a smile. Of course more than, and this. I saw her words fall. She said hands together. In an instant, a flash of thunder surrounded Shudong and Wanjian. Suddenly, the unicorn was convulsed and couldn't break free. And the clouds and stars on it are naturally shaking and twitching with the wind. The cloud dances in the eye to dye the ice-cold bloodthirsty. The double lips slightly yawn. Although she didn't know how powerful the wombing magic was, she now had more and more pure blood of the witches, and had some instinctive feelings about witchcraft. If you want to break the netherworld, it's more than enough to synthesize 5 elements. And she is short of everything except the power of elements. If the 5 elements attack, the solidified unicorn is almost electrified even if it doesn't die, right? Water and wood, but Ray's favorite things, every time we meet, can be abnormal fusion. The strength has been increased several times. When people saw the scene, they were surprised and couldn't close their mouths. How is that possible? 5. 5 series summoner? I don't know who said it. Good, strong. Ling Feng looks at the unicorn beast that twitches in the air, but can't get rid of it. He is also surprised to say that it's not easy. Although I know Cloud Dance is very powerful, however, he did not expect that she was not only powerful, but also a summoner, a 5-system summoner. With purple talent, how rebellious was her ability? The legendary wombing skill. Unexpectedly, she beat her in a flash? This is the real she. The strongest attitude is against the sky. Unconsciously shaking his head, the admiration in his heart rose from his heart. He knew that she was powerful, but he never thought that she was so rebellious. And these are just the abilities they see. What can't they see? Unintentionally, I can't help but draw out the corner of my mouth. Who is this woman? Cloud Dance looks at the unicorn beast struggling in the air, and her eyes pass by. It's a little surprised, but also fleeting. It hasn't fallen yet. Suddenly, the purple figure soared straight up in the air, and a touch of purple fighting spirit came out from the palm, hitting the unicorn's abdomen. Bang! With a crack, the unicorn's figure has disappeared, leaving only a cloud in the sky after the explosion, and finally disappeared into the vast cloud sky. And then there was a white figure in the sky, fluttering in the wind, but it was disgusted by the burning half of the face. Just when the white figure was about to fall to the ground, Yunwu moved under her feet, swept her figure, and caught her steadily. What did she pick her up for? Zhou Feiyu looked at the Cloud Dance with awe-inspiring eyes. This Cloud Star son he can write down, if today she doesn't die, in the future he definitely wants her to live not as death. Long Qingxia looks at the Cloud Dance. His eyes pass a low smile, and the corners of his mouth are slanting upward. He shakes his head helplessly. This little woman. It's getting more and more naughty. Suddenly, when people thought she was merciful enough to catch her, she glanced at Yun Xing and threw it away. She rolled Yun Xing around and threw it face down. People were stunned. Cloud Dance cold glance at the crowd in different way. Hand slip. Then he turned and walked off the stage. Everyone is petrified again. Is it on purpose? Zhou Feiyu's mouth is awe-inspiring. It's really interesting. He is so bloodthirsty and indifferent. Cold, he likes it. In the South Palace, he looks at her this action. The indifferent Mao Sun seems to also die a touch of smile. Shangguan laughs, say, as expected accord with this wench's temperament. Lu Bai's dark and gloomy eyes seem to be covered with a smile. Long Qingxia looks at the Cloud Dance walking down the stage, and his mouth is slightly crooked. He has long expected that this little thing will not be so kind, and he is as black-hearted as before. When Yunwu stepped down, he glanced at Yunqi intentionally or unintentionally. Yunqi is looking at her with a moving face. He wants to burst into tears and rush into her arms. When Yunwu looked at him, he felt numb, excited, and goosebumps all over. Yunwu goes to Long Qingxi and looks back at him. Long Qingxia's mouth was full of smile, and his eyes were full of doting. Yes, I didn't lose face for my husband. In the future, I won't let you lose face for my husband anymore. Cloud Dance slightly pick eyebrow. Don't understand away. You mean you want? It's time? Long Qingxia nodded to her, and the corners of his eyes were too dark. Then play a good prestige, and take back the lost face together with other people's face. Yunwu's eyes are shining. It seems that there will be a play in the next competition. Yun Xing stood up on the stage tremblingly and turned to leave. His figure was lonely and sad, but with a trace of unspeakable gloom. She tried her best to resist the pain brought by Shuimu thunder, but she still couldn't fight each other. Finally, she was shocked by thunder, and her whole body was swollen. But she deliberately threw it, touched the wound on her face, and the hot pain and friction made her wake up gradually. This moment of humiliation, she will be 1,000 times, 100 times back, and her gloomy eyes are clearly seen by Yunwu. She looks back at Zhang Jianqi, who is also looking at her helplessly. The Cloud dances the Mao light to pass a touch of meditation. Today, if let her go like this, will she regret in the future? However, no matter whether she will or not. She never likes to let her cancer grow up. See, Cloud dance mouth corner a sip, looking at Cloud star sun's back. Eyes deep. She never do let oneself may regret. Suddenly, her palms sent out two green edges, like two snakes, hitting the peep of bones on both sides of Yunxinger. Ah! The sound of tearing heart and bone resounded again. Everyone's eyes were attracted by the two tiny holes behind Yunxinger. Then, there was shock and consternation, and more was panic. This Cloud star sun completely kneels on the ground, can't get up again. With a sigh, Yunqi gets up and walks to Yunxinger. 9 winches, I will take this big winch back to the dormitory first. With that, Yunqi picked up the Cloud star on the ground and left. Cloud Dance looked at them one eye, then drew back the vision. Say she's ruthless or cruel. If she doesn't waste her muscles today, the future will be a painful day for her. Now she has too much concern and can't stand the threat of anyone. It's her bottom line to save her life. If she is satisfied, she should know that everything will be the same except that she can't do martial arts. Everyone watched Yunqi holding Yunxinger away and was shocked by her indifference. Even the 5 elders were slightly stunned, but they could understand why Yunwu did so. I declare that there are 10 people to be promoted. Yunwu, Longqingdi Ningganji, Zifiyu, Shengwan, Lu Bai, Shuangzi, Yayo, Xinshan, as the saying goes. The second game, the final, starts tomorrow. Let's go back. The elder seemed to be afraid of something unexpected. He read it out and announced the end of the game. The first game of a friendship competition, which almost cost life, ended like this. The night sky is quiet. Yunwu stayed in the dormitory, but was not affected by the day, but was thinking about something. Why is Shuangzi so similar to Lu Bai? Are like ice, but Frost is taken out of the heart, but also left a pair of ice eyes. In addition to the dark breath, Lu Bai has no ice breath. Is he really cured, or is he lying? If he's lying, the person's real identity is in danger. Just at this moment, outside the quiet dormitory, there was a sound of walking back and forth twice, as if thinking about how to speak. The Cloud dances the Mao light to pass as silk helpless. What matter can't knock on the door? Be a door got outside? Suddenly, she got up and walked towards the door. When she opened the door, she found Yunqi outside. Grandfather? 9 winches. Follow your grandfather. Yunqi looks at Yunwu with a loving smile. Under the cold starlight, the smile is so warm. Cloud Dance slightly droops eyes, then nods. On the spacious college square, there are still traces of fighting at noon. 9 winches. I know your elder sisters are sorry for you, but can you? It seems that Yunqi is hard to open his mouth. Under the star, his eyes are helpless. All his life, he went straight to the battlefield. But for those granddaughters, he repeatedly disobeyed himself and lowered his head to beg her, which made Yunwu feel a little uncomfortable. The Cloud dances the Mao light is clear and cold, just like the star on General at this time. This matter passed, as long as later she honestly does her Cloud Mansion big young lady. Really? Cloud Chia, listen. That pair of sharp eyes inside emerge a glimmer of joy. Cloud Dance micro frowns and nods, cold way. The premise is later she can have a little consciousness. Don't send any killer or force to kill me. Otherwise I will take her life. As for the story of the third lady, she doesn't intend to let Yunqi know. After all, it's the witch people. Who knows if it's the queen's pawn? Let's not scare the snake. Let's see what's going on. Of course, if she dares to do it again, I'll break her leg first. Yunqi eyebrows a horizontal. Those granddaughters in his eyes are not as good as Yunwu one. Who dares to hurt Yunwu, he cannot recognize. It's just that they are all granddaughters of his family. He can't bear them killing each other. By the way, grandfather, that and Lu Jiangying, an official of the same dynasty, General Lu, do you know where his son is now? Cloud Dance raises eyes to coagulate Cloud Chi. Think of Lu Bai and Frost of similar. Really some doubts. I always feel that there is something hidden in it. Hearing the words, Yunqi was stunned. Lu Jiang wins? I do have an impression in my memory. I can even say that I am quite familiar with it. because he is now an official in the same dynasty with Yunlingyi. At the beginning, he was an official in the same dynasty with Liu Jiangying. It's a matter of the old man's son. No one in the imperial city knows. It's said that his son has been missing for a long time. At that time, the people in Liufu searched frantically for a long time, but they didn't find him. However, just last month, his son suddenly came back. Cloud Chi looks at Cloud Dance. The Mao has a silk, don't understand. 9 winches, you ask this why? Cloud Dance slightly shakes his head. The Mao light passes a touch of chill. Nothing, just care about the old general. The Cloud old sun smell speech facial expression suddenly a black, low way. That Liu old sun, when and you so familiar? I have to go back and question him. With that, Yunqi turns around and walks away, with her unique strength. How could her granddaughter care about others? Cloud Dance looks at the figure that Master Yun leaves. The corners of his mouth pull slightly, then slightly droops his eyes, turns around, and disappears in the night. Under the night, a purple figure walking alone, but has been thinking of drooping eyes, looking down at the underground flowstone. Came back a month ago? Yunwu thought about what Yinshi had just said, and could not help frowning slightly. What a coincidence! The disappeared people suddenly went back a month ago, and the time was not too early or too slow, which was exactly the time of the last selection competition of foreign colleges. Liu, by the suspicions and coldness in the Cloud Dancing eyes, suddenly died a few points. After the first day's competition, Cloud Dance has become the most influential person in the college, and the students discuss it separately. And Cloud Dance, in order to be quiet, did not go to class. At this point, it is estimated that the students who go to class are restless, right? Yunwu comes to the flower garden in the college and meets Nangongyi. They sit down and chat. Between them, perhaps there is a kind of unspeakable, inexplicable sense of calm. Nangongyi's calmness and quietness seemed to wash the bloody smell of her body, just like the baptism of her soul. It's strange. However, Cloud Dance is not disgusted. Who do you want to fight? Nangong Emo is like pure water, looking at her calmly. Against whom? In fact, she doesn't want to fight, but if she wants to improve herself, actual combat is the most basic step. What's more, she won the first place in this competition. Lead position. Cloud danced the corner of the mouth slightly a hook. Mao Guang pondered for a moment. I who all want to fight. This can advance to the top 10. Our masters of the master, canon master against should be a little interesting. Nangong he smelled the words, and a gentle smile passed in his eyes. What if you can only choose one? Cloud Dance thought for a while. Poor also return away. That chooses Frost say. There was a gleam in the corner of her eyes, sharp and domineering. She has always been interested in that Frost. His strength can't be underestimated. Nangong, he heard Frost say, calm eyes with a trace of waves. The opponent needs to be strong, otherwise it's boring. Don't you think so? What's more, he has challenged me. It seems impolite not to answer the challenge. Cloud Dance turns head to see an eye south temple the eye ground passes a silk undercurrent. Although she doesn't care about the two occasional appearance of Shuangzi, it doesn't mean that she can completely ignore. She still cares about the people who challenge her. What's more, she does have some interests. Nangong he slightly lowered his head, calm eyes, like a helpless smile. This is also right. Nangong he understands that he has decided to settle the matter with the nature of Cloud Dance, and will never change. At least, he knew that he didn't have the ability to influence her decision. However, if only I could sit quietly with her all the time and talk to her. The breeze, with the fragrance of the flower garden, swept across the tip of my nose, and a burst of freshness came. The second day's final came soon. It is still a top priority in the college. All the students in the college come to watch this wonderful scene. The second promotion contest, the final now. I'll read out the rules. An elder, holding a bright red book in his hand, began to turn it up. All of a sudden, there was a burst of laughter from the students. Is this a wedding card? It's still this book after all these years? The Cloud dances to smell speech. The corners of the mouth outline a smile. 10 people form a team at will. The first 2 are eliminated. The remaining 8 are promoted. The remaining 8 start fighting. The first 2 are eliminated. All the other 6 enter the Three Kingdoms competition, but they still have to continue fighting and choose the last one. The elder finished reading, put away the book, returned to the seat, took a deep breath, and called out, "The game begins." Cloud Dance a listen. Mao Guangyi Shan suspiciously glanced at an elder's seat. These old guys are in the picture to save trouble? There's a fight in the final? It's a big deal to watch. But she likes fighting. She can be lazy and let them fight as much as they want. She's fighting. She's fighting. The last move is to defend the enemy and finish it. Do you want to fight for your husband? If you reward my husband a few dates, my husband can give up on his own initiative. Dragon Qing, evil, looking at the side of the Cloud Dance. Toward her pick eyebrows, signal her to consider. Yunwu's face turned black, and he glanced at him. His eyes flashed a frost. Just when she was about to speak, a cold voice interrupted her. "I choose Cloud Dance." Not far away, a cold figure stood up. "Not Frost Zehu?" This makes the students who were speculating on the spot a little stunned. They didn't expect that someone would challenge Yunwu directly. When they saw that the man was Shuangzi, their surprise changed into cheers. Shuangzi is the inner disciple of the elder. His martial arts skills are among the best in the college. Now the competition is more interesting. The elder nodded slightly. Although he had the result in his heart, he still hoped to temper Frost Ze's patience. Cloud Dance lifted Mao to glance at Frost Ze one eye, the corner of the mouth in different sneer. "Got it to walk up one challenge arena. Please give me more advice." Frost Ze just nodded, not too much expression. 2 people to hold, a touch of invisible pressure suddenly hit. These 2 people are full of indifference and coldness, but the coldness of Shuangzi is quite different from that of Yunwu. Frost Ze is completely like ice, without a trace of heat of the body in general. But the Cloud dances in the frost to show bloodthirsty and chilly. It seems that people are more creepy. The next confrontation is Shangguan versus Liu Bai, Zhou Fiyu versus Xinshan, Longqingxi versus Ming Tian, Nanganji versus Yeo. Under the challenge arena, the excited cheers are endless. Frost Ze seems not to be affected, just staring at the clouds. Cold eyes cannot say what is complex. Suddenly, a white light flashed up. See, Frost Ze's a pair of fists have condensed into a piece of ice, exuding the breath of ice. It seems that the air is condensed into ice. Instant Cloud Dance hit. Cloud Dance looked at the attack of Ice Fist, stepped back, white palm burning fire. She fiercely clenched fist. Fire Fist suddenly appeared, burning half of the sky, against the frost of Ice Fist. The impact is like the mountain torrent burst out, uncontrollable. Ice and fire confrontation. Instantly, the whole challenge arena presents the difference between the 2 states. One side of the red-hot burning skin, people cannot look directly at. On the other side, the crystal-clear ice is like a hell ice cave, which makes people shiver. The students in the challenge arena will turn left and right, or they will be burned or frozen to death. Zizi. The confrontation between ice and fire makes a sound of mutual exclusion, melting and swallowing. The sky is full of ice and fire, while the clouds are surrounded by flames, and the frost is surrounded by ice. Bang! With an explosion, the 2 lights suddenly disappeared. In the hazy fog, the 2 figures instantly retreated at the same time, and both stopped at the edge of the challenge arena and stood firm. Cloud Dance half squints the mouse sun. The corner of the mouth is raising bloodthirsty smile. A pair of black Mao has already become purple at the moment. Is this the result of the collision between ice and fire? Cloud Dance slightly raised her eyes and looked in the air, reflecting 2 polar states, the burned cloud and the frozen cloud. A smile of irony scattered in the corner of her mouth. At the moment, several groups of people in the other arena, seeing the shining scene, seemed to have negotiated a general truce. They were all slightly stunned to watch them fight. Some squatted on the ground, some languidly leaned on the challenge column, some resolutely stood, some simply lay on the ground. They all looked like watching a play, completely forgetting that they also wanted to compete. All of a sudden, all the focus of the whole stadium are gathered in Yunwu and Shuangzi, and the few people in the game have also become the audience. It was funny on the whole. Several elders were also shocked. Was their strength really cultivated by the Samurai Academy? Cloud Dance looks at Frost Zay. Ground passes a touch of undercurrent. In the battle just now, she used 6 parts of her strength. She also felt that Shuangzi didn't exert all her strength. Her 6 parts of her strength flame was light and easy to break, and died together. His purple talent, the 9th level warrior, should not be so rebellious. What's going on? Is it because he has been dealing with ice since he was young, so his use of ice has exceeded his own cultivation? And the burning of her flame decreased a lot because he was ice? It seems that ice is the natural enemy of fire. Frosty looked at her, cold lips a word way. I will defeat you. Suddenly, Frost leaped up in the air. An ice sword had been held in his hand, cut through the air layer, with the wind blowing, condensing the ice color light, dancing towards the clouds. The cloud dances purple pupil ami. The moment volleys in the sky. The black flame, big knife in the hand, takes the strong strength, horizontal split past. Bang! It collided with the ice sword and made a roaring sound. All of a sudden, a flash of light scattered. The ice sword in Frost Zay's hand has been smashed. Yunwu's hand holding the black flame sword has been trembling slightly, and it's hard to be noticed. Cloud Dance, tiny narrow eyes. This Frost Zato ice has already come to the point of combining with oneself. Absolutely has already exceeded the strength that the 9-rank warrior should have. Everyone in the square staring at them. Suddenly, Frosty eyes swept a flame of anger. This is the first time that everyone saw him have such a different expression. At that moment, frost on the body rose, ice color lift fog, the whole body began to ice. The crowd looked at his action and widened their eyes, which was obviously unbelievable. Is he going to use that? Did he want to kill her? A touch of disbelief came into the ears of Yunwu and other people in the challenge arena. That's what he used 3 years ago. He killed the samurai in a flash. Mingtian lies on the ground, turning a grass in his hand, and says with his legs crossed. After seeing that Shuangzi killed the great martial arts class student 3 years ago, no one dared to challenge him anymore. Just in the blink of an eye, the man's heart was punctured and he died in a pool of blood. Many people see him as a monster and a devil. Dragon Qing, evil smell speech, mouth a yang, eyes evil calm. Zhou Feiyu and other people don't seem to be worried. On the contrary, Mingtian has a worried look at Yunwu. But he didn't know that the real devil was her. Cloud Dance looks at the change on Frost Zay's body. The eye bottom passes a silk surprised. He unexpectedly turns his body into ice. Under the sun, his body is shining like a statue. Suddenly, Shuangzi's frozen eyes moved for a moment. In an instant, more than a dozen ice swords shot at the Cloud Dance, followed by the disorder of scattered ice dance. This is Frost Zay's strongest ability. He can turn his body into ice. Through his own plan, ice can make any weapon an ability. Each weapon ability is the ability of his own class, the 9th level warrior. When Yunwu's broadsword was waved, he saw a dozen ice swords cut off, sword in the air, and rotated for a circle. Then he waved the broadsword again and stabbed Shuangzi. Just 1 second before stabbing Shuangzi's chest, the broadsword suddenly changed into a water sword. The water sword pierced into his frozen body and was instantly frozen. The Cloud Dance looks at this shape. The bloodthirsty purple pupil slightly narrows, raises the eye to glance at Frost Zay. The corner of the mouth actually slightly rises. My water element bumps into your ice. Do not know what kind of spectacle we'll have. Frozen eyes, suddenly a zheng. Just when he wanted to remove the ice body, suddenly a dark, huge water waves whirlpool toward his blanket. That kind of suffocating feeling led him dark. I'll give you a hand. The cloud dances coldly and roars, and the water element waves instantly churn and roll, directly winding the frost. In an instant, the water element is frozen, and besides the ice formed by itself, The water element of Cloud Dance outside is frozen on the body, and the action is a little stiff. Ice like this is useless. Frostze roared. In the moment of lifting the ice body, a strong spiritual power came out and instantly cracked the water element. Unexpectedly, even broke through the water element. Under the challenge arena, one of them looks at Shuangzi and stares in surprise. The cloud dances the corner of the mouth of Yang. The Mao light skips a pure light. That try this. Without waiting for Frost reaction, Yunwu waved his hands, and the water element suddenly hit him again. Did I say that? He was about to say that the water element was useless to him, but when he found the flame behind the water element, he was slightly stunned. All of a sudden, the water element forms a whirlpool and invades the body of Shuangzi. Shuangzi's ice eyes are as cold as a blade. If you use ice, you can condense water in an instant and completely destroy it in the next second, but you can't escape the flame behind. Frostze looked at the fire like magma. Not to mention ice. Even the iron can melt. The cloud dances the corner of the mouth to put on a smile, and the flame attack Frostze's body of that moment. She suddenly flies over in the air. The sword in hand reappeared, and the fierce and Zizi sword roared. It split into the air and broke the air. With the last blow of the black flame sword, the wind-fire element disappeared. Frostze's mouth brimming with blood fell down. People look at the figure of Frostze fall down, a strange silence filled with. A quarter, 2 quarters, 3 quarters, this is the best cooperation. It belongs to the summoner alone. A sound of shock first broke the silence. I saw that the sound came into the ears of all the people on the scene, and suddenly caused a deep breath. Is this the ability of the summoner? She was able to defeat Shuangzi. She really deserves to be the summoner in the legend. How strong she is! And just at this time, another voice sounded like amazement. She's much younger than me, so she's against the weather. If in the future, gradually there was a voice in the crowd. It's just that when you think about it, you won't be able to say any more about the astonishing gesture of Miss Nine in front of you. There is a smile in Long Qingxia's eyes. The strength of this little thing is still hidden. It seems that the inner college can't accommodate her. Perhaps, before that opportunity really comes, it's time to go out for a walk. Oh, it's wonderful. I hope Xiao Wu can continue to be strong enough to kill heaven one day. Xinguan said out of tune. Everyone thought his words were a joke, but in his eyes, he was never serious and expected. Ming Tian sat on the ground and looked at the cloud dance, showing a smile that he didn't know what to do. Then he looked up at the dragon with a black veil and said, "What's your strength? If I'm like her, I'll just give up." "You're really promising?" Shangguan glanced at the sky scornfully. Zhou Feiyu glanced at the dragon and said with deep meaning, "The son of the dragon of the Zhou dynasty is the waste of the human population." "What? Waste?" The dark sky rubbed to sit up on the ground. He turned around the dragon with an unbelievable face and doubted. "Can waste enter the top 10? Are you rubbish?" He glanced at the people under the challenge arena. His eyes were surprised and asked seriously. The people in the challenge arena turned black, but there was nothing to refute, because they were really defeated by a loser hearing this. The 5 elders also felt that they could not keep their face. The rest of the groups hurried to compete. 2 elder a cold drink. The facial expression is some ugliness. He is the elite of the king of God Warrior Academy. He was beaten by a waste. Although this waste is also from his academy, it's really not very good to hear. On the number 1 challenge arena, the contest is over, and the focus of most people is attracted by Dragon's evil spirit. Frostze reluctantly stood up, brushed his hand to wipe the blood on the corner of his mouth. Ice eyes looking at the clouds. Unspeakable complexity. And then he slightly drooped his eyes. "Thank you." If she had not defeated him with a big knife in time and removed the elements of wind and fire, it would not have been impossible for him to melt completely under her fire magma. Cloud Dance Mouth Hook turned off the challenge. "Are you really a waste?" The dark sky doesn't give up to stare at the dragon to pour evil. He was so close to him, but he didn't feel that he had no martial arts. There are only two possibilities. The first is that he is really a waste, and the second is that his strength is above him. However, he thinks that the second possibility is relatively large. It's said that a waste wants to get the first place in such a rampant scuffle, but it's almost impossible. The students in the inner college are not waste. Is it rubbish? I'll know if I try. Cloud dance all the way to hear the question of the sky. Can't help mouth slightly yawn up. Mingtian glanced at Yunwu, raised his chin slightly, then looked contemptuously at the dragon and said, "Just try." Then he looked at Yunwu again. His face collapsed immediately, and he said, "I'm afraid of losing face. I'm beaten badly. I might as well admit defeat. At least I can't hurt my face. And I'm not sure about my posture." When Yunwu heard him, he chuckled, then looked at him and said, "Congratulations. The prophecy has come true." I saw the dark sky's face brush down. Several other people were not surprised to hear Yunwu say that. They had already guessed that Long Qingxi couldn't be a waste. This sentence just confirmed their idea. Long Qingxie came to Yunwu and said in her ear, "Now it's time to play for my husband. Go and get your face back." Cloud danced mouth a yawn, looking back at him a smile. "The face this thing I don't want, but prestige this thing. Must have." Dragon Qing evil black eyes pan out a smile, magnetic low way. "Yes." Cloud Dance glanced at him and said with disdain, "You said that you have your own way to enter the Three Kingdoms competition. The way is to show your strength?" Dragon Qing evil slightly pick eyebrows, mouth with a smile. "This is not a good way." Cloud Dance, "The way is to hide your strength." "There is no need to hide your strength." Dragon Qing evil mouth a yawn, then calmly turned to the challenge arena. After watching the excitement, several people started their own competition. Yunwu watched the dragon pour evil spirits, and from time to time looked at several other people in the challenge arena, sitting lazily. When she saw the dark sky completely open to the war, her eyes flashed a little surprised. Purple talent, middle martial arts, wind, wood and water. This person seems to be a bit loose and unorthodox, just like Shangguan, but the more he is, the more difficult he is to deal with, but now it's on the ring. The dark sky is suddenly pushed back by a strange breath of dragon's evil, and there is a look of astonishment at the bottom of the dark sky's eyes. What a strong breath! Is he really stronger than him? However, the dark sky suddenly raises that to wipe loose smile and stares at the mouth of the dragon to pour evil to say, "This strength can match that woman." As soon as his voice fell, he saw the gray figure in the dark sky, and the dragon fell away. A blue water belt hung on the gray figure. Suddenly, the speed and attack power of the wind attribute and the attack power of the water attribute completely wrapped the dragon's evil figure. When everyone was surprised that the waste had the ability to fight against the dark sky, they could not help shaking their heads when they saw this scene. But in the next second, everyone's shaking his head has not stopped. All of them seemed to be stunned at that moment. In addition to the groups still competing, the whole challenge arena was silent. In the helpless eyes, they were shocked. What's going on? That trash. He's not, isn't he trapped in it? How did you get out? If this is a real person, what is that? Do you have a separate body? It's the shadow. That's right, it's Caning. The ability of Dragon Shitsi is not under the sky. Everyone was shocked again. What's going on? Well, isn't it waste and waste? How could Ming Tian is hit by a purple fighting spirit of dragon's evil spirit behind him? The pain from his spine makes him fall on the ground for a moment and can't stand up, but his eyes are still smiling. Purple talent? I can't see your rank. Ming Tian reluctantly stood up. His forehead exuded a little sweat, and his face was slightly pale. The dragon tilts her eyes and smiles. It seems to be very modest, but she glances at the clouds. The eyes of the evil spirit send her an autumn wave. Yunwu's helpless white eyes. Mingtian hasn't done his best. What's this guy proud of? When Yunwu looks back at the other arenas, except for Zhou Fiyu, the other three groups are over. Yunwu's mouth twitches. It's just the beginning. Not for a while Xinshan has been intentionally or unintentionally glancing at Yinwu. Seeing that Yinwu puts his eyes on the third challenge arena where he is, the corner of his mouth raises, arouses a touch of charm, and speeds up the attack. Zhou Feiyu's mouth was awe-inspiring, and one hand became a fist full of dense steam. Just as Xinshan attacked him, his figure trembled and waved with all his strength. Bang! With the shaking of the challenge arena, a personal gravure appears in the center of the challenge arena. Xuanshan's charming face was hit by that blow and lost his chin. At the moment, it was swollen, and the corners of his mouth were overflowing with blood. Suddenly, his face was black and blue, and he was a little ferocious. Next time I see something I shouldn't, I'll take your eyes off and feed them to the dog. With an awe-inspiring warning, standing beside Xinshan and looking down like a king, Xinshan was so angry that he couldn't say a word. Cloud Dance's mouth shows a smile of sarcasm, takes back his eyes looking at Xinshan, and turns to the second challenge arena, which is in full swing. Cloud Dance looks at Dragon Qingxia's effortless defense and occasionally catches the opportunity to strike. That strike is extremely easy, but the pain of Ming Tian is extremely unbearable. The strength of this Dragon 3 is so strong. It was hidden deep enough before. Ling Feng looks at Long Qingxia to deal with Ming Tian at the level of great martial arts master. It's obviously more than enough. There is a complex look in his eyes. In the past, waste is a perfect match, but both of them are hiding. Now they think it's a perfect match. They are both equally strong and shocking. Xiao Zhu shook his head, a pity on his face. Inadvertently looking at Long Qingxia, his eyes are a little fuzzy, thinking his strength and Cloud Dance should be equal. Right? That is his strength above him. He suddenly dropped his eyes. The corner of his mouth swept a helpless smile. The corners of Ming Tian's mouth were pale. Suddenly, the water rose into the sky and disappeared into the clouds. Suddenly, he took out a long golden sword as sharp and rugged as lightning. The golden light of the sword body flashed as if it were lightning. Then he shook his figure and attacked the dragon strangely. Dragon Qing Evil Mouth Yang. Black eyes pan out a touch of bloodthirsty light. Looking at the strange attack of the sword, white palm in mid-air a slip. People watched the lightning, the golden sword straight toward him. He still stood calmly, not much flash. Is he going to die? A man's eyes suddenly startled as he looked at the sword shining golden and cold in front of his chest. However, a chilling scene happened. The sharp roar of the sword attacked the dragon, but stopped half a meter away from his chest. The dark sky is loose of Mao Sun surprised suddenly a lift, see to the opposite of that white figure, but only sweep to a moment remnant shadow. His face suddenly changed. The next second, his eyes a dark, an evil, ugly face reflected in front of him, only to see the man's mouth with a bloody smile. Ming Tian's eyes are wide open, and his eyes pass by. He looks at him incredulously, but the next second, the body slowly fell to the ground. Although some people are talking about what Long Qingxia has done, it makes Ming Tian lose without any fighting power. Only a dozen people saw his shot. Zhou Feiyu looks at the dragon, and his sharp eyes are unpredictable. Suddenly, he pulled his mouth slightly. His eyes became sharp, hiding his strength and deliberately showing his strength. What is all this for? He is full of interest and expectation for the purpose behind him. Looking at this scene, the 5 elders were no less surprised than the students in the challenge arena. The one who just separated the sword from his body was the boundary of space. How can ordinary people use this space? The 5 elders once again put their eyes on the body, and the corners of their mouths were twitching. The strength of these 2 people, the old man who has been cultivating all his life, is a little embarrassed. What a bad day, isn't it? Long Qingxia calmly flicked the dust on the white clothes, slightly raised the corners of his mouth, and walked down the stage under the gaze of the people. And the pale Ming Tian behind him also sat up at the moment, raised his eyes, and looked at the back of Dragon Qingxia, and said lazily, "I really lost. This time, I lost face. I said you could win me, so I would give up." Dragon Qing Evil Head also didn't return, straight to Cloud Dance's side. Evil spirit of toward her wink way. For husband performance good? Not good. Cloud dance show eyebrow, a horizontal. Indifferent Mao Sun glanced at him one eye. Dragon Ching, evil mouth a pull. To have demeanor, plus natural and unrestrained domineering. Did not see those worship eyes. He glanced at all the people and looked like I was very powerful. I was very smart and powerful. It's too slow to solve. It should be over with one blow. Yunwu shakes her head in disappointment, but a smile appears in her eyes. The dark sky on the challenge arena hears the speech. The corner of her mouth twitches fiercely and looks at the cloud dance's eyes. This face has fallen to the ground, and the girl has to step on it. Black-hearted. When the 5 elders heard Yunwu's words, they looked at each other in surprise and pretended to have 2 dry coughs. I declare that the 6 people who represent Shenhuang's Samurai Academy to participate in the 3 Kingdoms competition are Yunwu, Longqingxi, Nanganji, Zhou Fiyu, Shangguan, and Lu Bai. The 3 elders stood upright and upright, hoping to get the attention of the students. But it turns out everyone's thoughts and eyes are still occupied by Yunwu and Longqingxi. The 6 people who have been promoted to the 3 Kingdoms competition will fight with each other. They will be divided into the front and back places. The first one, as the team leader, will take other people to participate in the 3 Kingdoms competition. The voice of the old tower, like a magic sound, suddenly suppressed everyone's voice and kept reverberating. There was a trace of vibration in his breath. The voice was like a sound wave which was a buzz in his ears. Except for the students above the 9th level, all the others covered their ears, with a look of pain on their faces and a buzzing sound in their minds. All of a sudden, except for the birds and animals, the whole square was quiet. Even the sound of breathing can be heard clearly. Alas! The 3 elders glanced at the students, sighed helplessly, and touched the white beard. I'm so kind to tell you that no one listens. We have to let the elder use force to solve the problem. We all have to clean up one by one. They were speechless. They did not forget how the kind 3 elders had taught them Yunwu, Longqingxi, and other 6 people. Hearing the elders' words, glanced at each other unhappily, as if they were declaring war. The first one on stage is Yunwu. She takes a cool step. She is in purple and arrogant. Her eyes are firm. She is the leader of the team, who stands in the way, who steps down, and the other 5 people all looked at each other. Their eyes were shining. They didn't speak. They didn't move. They seemed to be in divine intercourse. Cloud Dance looks at them, and suddenly a touch of disgust passes through the bottom of his heart. When will the 5 people who were not familiar with each other and could not tolerate each other? When 5 men had sex with each other, she couldn't help oozing a mouthful of sour water. After a while, there was no movement. Cloud Dance willow eyebrow a low, Mao Guang a cool. Eyebrows emerge a touch intolerable, cold mouth way. Give me quick. 5 big men look at each other, take back the eyes of Xinjiao, and walk onto the stage with a mysterious smile on their lips. Yunwu was confused by their smile, and a little bit of meditation passed by her eyes. Suddenly, she thought, wouldn't it be a joint effort to get her down? Suddenly, the black line on her forehead came up, and the corners of her mouth were not easy to detect. One-on-one or fighting? Yunwu first looks at Nanganji, who is standing first. Xingmo is burning the fire of battle. I abstain. Nanganji calmly looks at the cloud dance, and the gentle and cool voice does not contain a trace of ups and downs. What? Cloud dance slightly frowns, the eye light passes a doubt. Abstain? Did she hear that right? Then the crowd, who watched the excitement and looked forward to it, burst into an uproar. The cloud dance suspiciously glanced at him one eye, walked to the superior officer in front, looked at him one eye and said, "How about you? One-on-one or fighting?" "I didn't sleep well last night, abstain," Shangguan said with a yawn, a pair of sleepy appearance. All of a sudden the performance of incisively and vividly. Cloud dance face a dark, forehead suddenly wipe out 3 black lines. Seem to understand what. She went to the dragon in front of the evil, a pair of star eyes cold looking at him, the corner of her mouth with a very cold and gorgeous smile, biting teeth a word way. You won't also abstain? She looks like that. If Long Qingxia answers yes, she will tear him to pieces. Dragon Qing, evil spirit a smile, the corner of the mouth Yang, is putting on a clear way. Madam knows my heart. Cloud dance. A touch of frost appears at the bottom of my eyes, and the smile at the corner of my mouth is chilling. Hearing this, the 5 elders' faces suddenly changed. For so many years, the position of leader of the 3 kingdoms competition was not won with blood. Now look at this situation. Everyone abstained. This girl just picked up a captain for nothing. How can she look more terrible than not getting the captain's expression? And the 2 of you? Cloud Dance is glaring at Zhou Feiyu and Lu Bai, cold way. Abstain. I abstain. One is awe-inspiring and domineering. The other is dark and fierce. The voice of the difference between heaven and earth is the same answer. For a moment, the air seemed to condense, and the cold eyes of the clouds swept the 5 of them. The chill on their bodies was enough to frighten the whole inner college, and the people in the challenge arena did not dare to talk in surprise. They seemed to feel that the 9th lady seems to be angry. It's just, why, wouldn't it be better for others to abstain? However, where do they know that cloud dance is the psychological preparation for training? Moreover, in this strange world where martial arts are the most important, everything is based on fists. Only after everyone loses can they be willing to obey her command. In this way, it will be easy to do later things. But now Cloud Dance looked back at the 5 elders, slightly raised eyebrows, and said coldly, "Elder, is this illegal?" As soon as the 5 elders heard it, they looked down at each other. This abstention is not a violation of the rules of the game, but when it comes to the chilly and icy eyes of Yunwu, I don't know how to answer it. Shengguan looks at the eyes of the 5 elders who are about to kill by Yunwu, forcing them to have a hard choice. Looking back at Yunwu, he says, "Is this a threat?" Cloud Dance glances at him. "Do you have one?" Shengguan touched her indifferent eyes, immediately shook his head and shrugged his shoulders, and said with a flattering smile, "Of course not." But in his heart, he was thinking, who dares to retort when you look at people like that? It's not a threat. What is it? Suddenly, Long Qingxia came to her side, mouth slightly young, low voice. "Little thing, you are so stubborn." Language just fell, while she did not respond to come over, will her arms, his fingers on her lips. "You!" Cloud Dance stares at Long Qingxia angrily. Before he says anything, a smell of blood rushes into his mouth. The next second, when his consciousness is dark, he feels faint in his arms. Isn't his blood useless to her? How could, however, Yunwu didn't know that the body of Dragon Qingxia was evil. In many cases, it was as simple as she thought. Everyone looked at the scene and opened their mouths in surprise. A terrible idea flashed through their mind. A finger put down the summoner? What's going on? Is that Long Shitsi more powerful than Miss Nine? Is he really the legendary son of the dragon? Dragon Qingxia holds Cloud Dance. Eyes gently dote on drowning. Ignoring the surprise of everyone's eyes, a shadow passes by and disappears in the challenge arena. The other 4 looked at the shadow in front of them, and the constant color in their eyes was a little dark. We all abstained and agreed to her as captain. Far away, a sound of arrogance and evil came into the ears of the 5 elders. The 3rd leader quickly gathered up his abnormal look and said in 2 clear coughs, "Cloud Dance will be the captain of the 6 people in the 3 Kingdoms competition. When other people go to participate in the 3 Kingdoms competition, they will follow the captain's instructions and the promotion competition will be over." When people heard that the game was over, they were a little disappointed. The most wonderful competition ended before it started. Today's promotion competition shocked everyone. I've never seen such a fierce competition. The elder looked at the scattered crowd and sighed. Originally, the battle of choosing the captain was more exciting. It was all a competition of ability and strength. But unexpectedly, The five of them all gave up after negotiation, and the girl became the captain smoothly. Suddenly, the elder had a bad feeling. This girl has become a team leader, but she's not going to turn it upside down? Do you have a peaceful life? The elder can't help sighing again. Those people are surprisingly good to the girl. I don't know whether they are good or bad for the girl. I hope that in the future, they will not meet with each other because of this. Every year, after the students participate in the promotion competition, the students who finally enter the Three Kingdoms competition will go out of the college for training. A few of them are no exception. The five elders told them to set out as soon as possible and go out for training. The three elders took out a whistle and gave it to Nanganji. Yu said, no matter whether you use it or not, don't lose it. Otherwise, anyone can come into this college. Nangong nods indifferently, and an imperceptible smile appears in the corner of his mouth. It seems that they have long discovered that Yunwu sneaked out of the college on the cliff. The night is charming, and the noisy and exciting day is gone. Your Highness, we have lost a lot of time. Wuhan bowed his head respectfully and looked at Zhou Feiyu, who was noble and arrogant. Zhou Feiyu glanced at him and said with a hint of warning, I don't want to say it again for the fourth time. Do your own thing well. 5 cold 1 lung. Still want to say what? Touched Zhou Feiyu's cruel warning. Finally still didn't say. For the sake of this 5 Phoenix girl, His Highness is leaning on the matter of delaying the imperial city to seize power. He has suffered a lot since childhood. He sees it in his eyes. Isn't it just for the sake of seizing power? Now for a woman 5 cold, slightly helpless Mao Guang once flipped by, then disappeared in Zhou Feiyu's room. In the room, the candle light was dim, but Zhou Feiyu's dignified, domineering and cold breath remained unchanged. He looked at the faint candle light and narrowed his sharp eyes, revealing endless darkness. Seizing power is imperative, and she is bound to win. Under the moon sky, a white and a purple figure appears, and the woman falls in her arms by the man's domineering, forming a look like a little bird depending on others, Lang Qingqi. Under the stars. Finally, the woman seemed to move in his arms, and the man raised a smile. Suddenly, Cloud Dance eyes a cold, clenched fist instantly toward his face. Dragon Qing Xie grabs her hand effortlessly and says, Don't hit face, it's not perfect. Cloud Dance, your blood. Only once in a while. Once in a while. Dragon Qing evil spirit smile of stare at her to say. Occasionally, Yunwu is stupid to believe him at this time. However, Cloud danced at this time, but slightly narrowed his eyes and asked him, Is the game over? Well, the second before you go into a coma is over. Everyone abstains. You're the boss. Dragon Qing evil enchantment smile, toward her grin, this thing for husband do good. Cloud Dance cold hum a smile, is not bad. Why did she suddenly want to beat him? Cloud Dance sullen put away fist, sat up from his arms, eyes cold white he one eye. Thinking of what happened in today's challenge arena, she fell into a coma in his arms, and the black line on her forehead began to appear. However, Cloud Dance has just begun. Suddenly, Cloud Dance felt a cold breath, eyes slightly AMI, seems to have known who was coming. Under the moonlight, the cold figure stood not far away, and the ice eyes looked at them for a moment. Yunwu stands up, stares at him, and walks towards him. When do you leave? Frosse looking at Cloud Dance, I don't know why I put on a complex. I'll leave tomorrow. What's up? Yunwu saw the emotion in his eyes and knew that if there was nothing wrong, he would not come to her. Frosse heard nodded, pondered for a long time before opening. Can you help me pay attention to the people who can ice the human body? If you can, thank you. Cloud Dance hears him say this. Suddenly remembered Lu Bai. I ground suddenly a cold. Lift Mao Wei. Who is your father's? Why do you ask this? Frosse tiny as Zheng. Ice Mao some dodge. Don't understand why she suddenly asked this. Casually ask. Can it be the Lu Jiang of the Zhou dynasty who won over General Lu? The Cloud Dance conceals the chill in the eyes. It seems that it's really just curious to ask. Secretly, but has been exploring the eyes of Frosse. If not, Frost Zay, Ice Eyes, and Dodge seems to fall into a section of the past that he does not want to recall. Cloud Dance Mao Guang Am I? It seems that her guess is right. That Liu Bai is really lying. He is not the son of General Liu at all. Then he would be, if you don't want to say it, don't say it. I'll pay attention to your business. After that, Yunwu turned and left. Long Qingxie is standing not far away from her, with a lazy smile on his mouth. Then, he grabbed her hand, some overbearing, some in front of other men, the intention to declare sovereignty. Cloud Dance helpless smile, but also did not have any struggle as he took her hand. In this way, the two hands holding hands disappeared in the night of the stars. Frosty looked at the cloud, disappeared back, Ice Eyes slightly low, showing a rare stiff smile, a summoner's words, he believed. He must find out the man and kill him himself. In the night, Dragon Qingxie looks at Cloud Dance's meditative side face. His sword eyebrows are low. What do you find? Cloud Dance raises mouth to shake head. Toward him show a smile that let him rest assured, indifferent way. Unimportant matter, discover don't discover, to us all same. Dragon Qing, evil slightly jaw head, the corner of the mouth, evil spirit yang. Because only my thing is important to you. This words listen really comfortable. You said it yourself. Cloud Dance white he one eye. Afterward the head, also don't turn round to leave. Under the stars, the mystery of Dragon's sudden evil smile, the evil of smile, and the indifference of smile. Suddenly his white shadow passed by, and in an instant he came to a tree. His indifferent eyes were just opposite the eyes that had been peeping at them. No, it should have been peeping into her eyes. Xinshan looked at the dragon in front of him and was surprised. You, how did you find me? He used 1,000-year-old osmanthus, which can hide all the flavor of his body, including the unique flavor and spiritual power of the beast. Even if he is super capable, he should not find out. Long Qingxie's mouth was filled with a bloodthirsty smile. Looking at his eyes, he said, Do you think I killed you neatly, or let your blood dry first? Xinshan touched his bloodthirsty eyes, suddenly stepped back. This is the college. Can't kill people. Yes? The people I want to kill, even if they are standing in the Emperor's Hall now. Are you sure the Academy can save you? Dragon Qingxie's eyes are full of sinister evil, with a touch of scarlet, just like a bloodthirsty wolf, terrible and merciless. Oh, why kill me? Xinshan was scared by his eyes, so he couldn't speak quickly. He asked casually, From the first time you look at her, she should be dead. Long Qingxie didn't give him a chance to talk. His eyes didn't look at him. With a wave of his hand, a wooden sword with purple fighting spirits stabbed him in the chest. Xinshan looks at the fierce wooden sword with purple fighting spirit. His eyes are shocked. Just as he is about to fight, he finds that his body is bound by something and can't move. He stares big eyes, looking at the wooden sword getting closer and closer, finally powerful into his heart, to death. He is a little confused. There is no chance to resist. In the college, he would kill if he wanted to. Originally, he held that this was a college. Even if he was found tracking, he would not worry about his life. Long Qingxie looks at the dead body on the ground. His evil eyes are slightly narrowed. The scarlet and bloodthirsty color has retreated, and the corner of his mouth is drawing a smile. Why don't you give her this gift? Doesn't she have a cannibal flower? That's a good way to kill the dead. Although he was absolutely sure that he would not be doubted by the fact that he did not need to destroy the corpse, the gallantry still had to be offered. Yunwu returned to the dormitory, just ready to lie down, but heard a dull sound outside the door, got up to open the door. Just when saw that corpse outside the door of the room, the Mao light suddenly a cold. Oh! Lifting his eyes, he glanced around, but didn't find anyone. Yu Guang accidentally glanced at a note on the door, and there was a helpless undercurrent in the bottom of his eyes. Before going to bed, I gave my husband a big gift of cannibal to you. How was the gallantry? There's an evil and shameless smile on the back. Cloud Dance glanced at the underground Xianshan, willow eyebrow low, and then look at the note. The eye light swept a sharp edge. People of the Beast Gate? It seems that there are so many beasts hidden in the inner college. However, this man, his hospitality is special enough. Who's up for a body? Cloud Dance's forehead suddenly a black line floating. But Cloud Dance still calls out Hong Ling. In order not to dirty her room, she let Hong Ling eat outside. When she closed the door, she told Hong Ling that if anyone found it, they would catch it. The low-level ones would eat it directly, and the high-level ones would come back to see her. It seems that you can still hear the sound of Hong Ling eating outside. In the early morning, when everything was quiet, more and more people began to appear in the college. The students of inner college knew that Yunwu was going to leave with others today, and they gathered early in the morning to see her off. Although a little friendship, only Ling Feng, unintentional, and Xiaozhu. But others are out of admiration, appreciation, admiration, and the last look at a beautiful man. Everyone's reasons are different, but they all come. It seems that the whole college has come out to send them. Be careful all the way. Ling Feng walks and looks at the Cloud Dance's side Yen Road, a don't give up flash in the eyes. Cloud Dance looked back at him, nodded, mouth slightly a yawn. Continue to work hard. The next I hope to get the news is that you represent the Three Kingdoms competition. Ling Feng nodded, certainly, and Long Qingxie and the other four. All the time I followed Yunwu, except Shangguan, and unintentionally said something. Others were indifferent. In this college, they don't know anyone except Cloud Dance. Soon they came to the border of the school gate. Yunwu looked back at the crowd who saw her off. It was rare for them to raise the corner of their mouth in front of so many people, and said with a smile, "Thank you for seeing her off. Goodbye when you have a chance." Everyone was waving goodbye to her. Cloud Dance just found that no matter what happened before, as long as there is strength, it seems that there will always be someone following behind, and it can't help but show a sneer again. Think of 2 days ago, she was ridiculed. Fiancé is a waste, who see her as a pair of hate to death, but dare not how eyes. And now, Cloud Dance sneers. Nangong blew his whistle, and soon the beast flew down from the air. When he saw the Cloud dancing, the beast trembled instinctively. Then he didn't look at her anymore, but looked at her secretly. Yunwu glances at it indifferently. It is a shiver of excitement. She shakes her head secretly. Heaven can tell her that she has done nothing. It seems that this guy is really scared. After saying goodbye to the crowd, the 6 of them left by the carving beast and went on their journey of experience. Whispering wind in my ear. The breath of inner college gradually disappeared. People raised their eyes to gaze at the last one, and they all recovered their usual look. Xiao Wu, where are we going now? You're not going to buy us, are you? Shangguan leaned on the back of the carving beast and said with a casual smile. The cloud dances, and the dark light flashes by. Then he raised his eyes and glanced at him. Where you go is where you go, but with your posture, does anyone want to go? After hearing this, people's faces changed a little. None of us? I'm generally acknowledged to be a romantic man. Shangguan brush from carving beast back sat up, a pair of eyes surprised looking at Cloud Dance excuse. Cloud Dance coldly looked at him, then lazily closed his eyes. That's all. The corner of Shangguan's mouth twitches, and he looks at the other 4 guys with a smile staring at him. His smile is so creepy that he has no choice but to dance in the clouds. After the beast sent them down the mountain, they left. In this way, the 5 took the lead of Yunwu and set foot on the so-called experience road with Yunwu. Cloud Dance has been walking northward since it came out of the college. No matter where it passes, it doesn't stop. Several days passed. After passing many good places for training, it seems that Yunwu doesn't plan to stop. Xiaowu, where do you want to go? We went in the air. Why do we have to walk here? For a few days, my feet are blistering. Finally, Shangguan couldn't help but look up at Yunwu. Go where you like. Yunwu looks back at him. It's cool in my eyes, as if I'm asking, do you have any opinions? Shangguan Yunwu withdrew his gaze at Shangguan, and a trace of meditation passed through his eyes. According to the records of the Dragon Scroll, one of the maps of the Summoning Temple is located in the north outside the college. According to the location on the Dragon Scroll, she plans to take them to find the map through experience, because the tornado shows that it's an extremely dangerous place. If they have a few free experts, it won't be useless, and the chance of winning will be much greater. Just a few days ago, I didn't know exactly where I was in the north, so I chose to walk. After this close, the tornado seems to have some feeling. Cloud danced tightly, pursed mouth, slightly a yawn. Suddenly, a touch of purple shadow passed, has been flying away. Shangguan raised his eyes and looked at the purple figure in the distance in the air. The corners of his mouth turned slightly. Why have you been there long ago? Dragon Qing, evil mouth, slightly a yawn. Eyebrow across a touch of helpless, then followed by other people also following the past. About an hour. The golden light reappeared in Yunwu's mind, and the display position of the tornado had arrived. Yunwu looked down and fell steadily on the ground. Cloud Dance looked at the position in front of her eyes. Her eyes lifted slightly, and her mouth showed a smile, which should be here. What came into her eyes was a boundless forest. The cloud danced and looked at the periphery of the forest. Her eyes narrowed slightly. When Lingxi was in the sky, she was in the sky for nearly half an hour. Every tree and vine in the forest is covered with strange crystal green, just like liquid, as if you can pierce the ground with your hand. At this time, Long Qingxie, Nanganji, Shengguan, Zhou Feiyu, and Mabai all came one after another. The others looked at the forest, and there was a trace of surprise in their eyes. At this time, the mind of the tornado again gives information. The oldest North Hebei Warcraft forest. The terrain is intricate, the number of different Warcraft levels is endless, and there are various species of variation. The danger of this place. Even the great martial arts masters and martial saints may not be able to walk out safely, so generally no one dares to enter. 100 years ago, the North Hebei Warcraft forest was listed as the first forbidden forest. Cloud Dance looked at the information given by the Dragon Scroll with a bright radiant in the corner of her mouth, looked back at the people behind her, and said calmly, "This is it." The dragon leans evil to smell speech. The face of the evil doer has a slight change. The eyes of a pair of evil spirits sun slightly as shun. How could this little thing know this dangerous place? However, Long Qingxie soon put away the undercurrent and said with a smile, "You are the captain, so I will obey your orders." Nangong Yi's calm and indifferent eyes drooped slightly. The fundus of his eyes was full of light. He raised his eyes and looked at the clouds. This is the Warcraft forest in northern Hebei. It's the most dangerous place. Are you sure you want to go? It seems that Nanganji knows this place. Cloud Dance nods. The corner of the mouth outlines, "Go." The map of the Summoning Temple is in it. No matter what variant of Warcraft there is, she will break through it. She already has 4 in her hand, plus the 1 inside. There are 5. If you add in the inner college, it will just make up 6. As for the remaining 6, sooner or later seeing her attitude without hesitation, Nangong Yi kept silent for a while, then nodded. His eyes restored to their usual gentleness, and his voice was warm and pure. Then go. He will accompany her as long as she goes. Zhou Feiyu looks at Yunwu and sees that they both agree. Naturally, he has no opinion. As long as Yunwu wants to do something, he will follow. Lu Bai also has no opinion, still a pair of dark, cold, empty looking at her. And Shangguan put away the surprised look, but also helplessly shook his head. No objection. This northern Hebei Warcraft forest is also famous. It is said that all the warriors dream of all kinds of strange and precious things in it, but none of the people who go and can come out in the end. I don't know how many samurais' blood irrigated this place, which contains all kinds of strange power. In addition to summoning the map of the temple, Yunwu has another idea in mind. Since this is the burial place of hundreds of warriors and martial saints, she has to try even more. Maybe the blind cat will not only die when it bumps into the dead mouse, but also get all the things that warriors dream of. She's always been lucky, isn't she? She wants to strengthen her own ability, take back the national master Mo Yebing, absorb her own strength, take back with interest. At that time, it was time for her to crusade. When they stepped into the forest, the vines they stepped on made a zee sound, just like the sound of stepping on the snow mountain. The dark green vines, the outside layer began to spray with disgusting juice, just like the poisonous dark green, sticky. It makes people feel nauseous. I can't help retching. But in a flash, the mucus suddenly seeped into the forest soil and disappeared, as if the mucus she had just seen was just an illusion. Cloud danced, slightly frown. I bottom skim a touch of surprise. Be careful, everyone! With the other 5 people Aste, Cloud Dance will take back to continue to move forward with the deepening. The strange smell in the forest is more and more clear. I always feel that there are some eyes staring at them. I also feel that the intricate vines under my feet seem to be moving. But after really staring at it, there was no abnormal feeling. Cloud Dance can't help frowning again. What's the matter? This place? Oh. All of a sudden, a strange animal howled, and suddenly, the whole forest was tense. The ground rumbled, like the feeling of 1,000 troops attacking. I saw that with the dull sound, the vines of the forest seemed to be more green, and seemed to melt in an instant. Yunwu and other people's faces sank slightly, and they were alert immediately. At this time, a pair of purplish-red animal eyes appeared beside a tree. Cloud Dance smelled a touch of sweet blood, suddenly looked back. The tusk, which has always been huge and has 2 horns on its back and a fist on its mouth, is eating its prey there. When he saw Yunwu and others, he immediately let out a howl. His fangs, stained red with blood, were full of blood, and they were staring at them. It's like a few people are dancing in the clouds, disturbing its eating. It's the 6th level beast. Lu Bai looked at the beast. A pair of dark eyes slightly changed. Li Beast is a kind of extremely crazy abnormal beast, which is to see living things either kill them or eat them or be killed. The most important thing is that they will not appear alone, but in groups. Nangong, he also looked at the beast. Calm eyes flashed a touch of vigilance. As soon as his voice fell, Yunwu felt that there were several more pairs of eyes around him, and the same purple-red ferocious eyes were staring at her. One of them has a lot of saliva. Cloud Dance's face suddenly a lung. Immediately, black eyes flashed past purple light. A bloodthirsty sneer appeared in the corner of his mouth. The bloodthirsty intention in his purple eyes appeared, and he said coldly, "It's rare to meet the advanced warcraft of level 6. If you haven't eaten for a day, you should take the drooling meat first." What? See, in the Cloud Dance, words a fall of a moment. Also didn't give a few men reaction. The air stream condenses in the air, and the bloody tearing is imminent. Yunwu's figure disappeared in front of people's eyes in the blink of an eye. Looking up again, she had already killed into the herd, and the first one to do the operation was the fierce beast. Dragon Ching, evil several start along, but soon, they didn't want to help. They just quietly watched the battle between man and beast. They knew that as long as she could deal with it, they would do her the best if they didn't do it. She wants to fight, so when she is safe, let her play. However, Long Qingxia half squints his eyes, and a touch of meditation passes through his eyes. Just as he enters the forest, he meets the fierce beast. The ability of the fierce beast is already a high-level beast among all kinds of beasts, but it is forced to stay at the edge of the forest. It seems that the more it goes, the more important it is. All of a sudden, a low, groaning voice roared, and all the people present felt the taste of naked, killing blood. Everyone looked at each other with a clear look between their eyebrows. It's a half-man. Nangong Yi's elegant eyes are fierce. The half-human beast is not like the 10,000 beast gate, but belongs to one kind of special warcraft. Why don't we both go in the past and have that good thing here? Isn't it a pity if we don't go? Shangguan's mouth was full of uninhibited smile, and then glanced at Nangong Yi. There is inner alchemy in the body of a half-human beast. The ability of inner alchemy is equivalent to that of a half-human beast. Eating its inner alchemy is equal to the power of picking up in vain. But it's not easy to get Nathan. The half-human beast is bloodthirsty, and the blood on its body has never been dried, so its inner alchemy power is very strong, but it is also extremely bloody. But Nangong Yi slightly raised his eyes and took a look at Yunwu. This subtle look was collected by the dragon. Long Qingxia's eyes looked at him darkly. My woman led other people to protect. Don't I have no face? Nangong Yi smelled the words and dropped his eyes for a moment. The bottom of his eyes flashed a touch of gloom. Then he looked up at Shangguan and said, "Let's go." Under the black veil, Long Qingxia looks at Nangong Yi. His white hands are a little tight. The killing intention in his eyes suddenly disappears for half a moment. There is a smile in the corner of his mouth that can't be guessed, so he puts his eyes on Yunwu again. There seem to be more and more rotten peach blossoms around her. It really made him a little uneasy. The black flame dagger in Yunwu's hand, like a soul, exudes frightening and chilling killing intention. She doesn't have to use a big knife to deal with these animals. However, if you want to solve the problem quickly, you should kill the chicken with a butcher's knife. What's more, it's a little bit strange that a beast is running towards her disgusting. But at this time, a fierce beast, which has been hidden in the dark, creeps forward quietly behind the cloud dance and looks at the cloud dance with purplish-red eyes, like a prey that has reached its mouth. Level 6 Warcraft. It seems to be growing wisdom. Little beast, put away your unpleasant eyes. Otherwise, I will be angry. At the moment when a voice sounded like a smile, Yunwu turned her head slightly to see the fierce beast creeping behind her. What? The fierce beast at the foot of a meal, that pair of beast eyes with a trace of undercurrent staring at the cloud. Said to put away your eyes. Unexpectedly, you want to die by yourself. Then I'll give you a ride. Cloud dance sneers, language falls, abruptly body shape rises in the air. A strange, strong breath, suddenly out of the air. The fierce beast was frightened by the breath, as if he was scared and angry. For a moment, his fangs were exposed ferociously, and the tearing cloud was dancing and howling. The black flame sword and the purple cold figure, wrapped with wind elements, instantly cut through the air and hit the beast. In the blink of an eye, the sword was bleeding, and the beast fell to the ground. Blood dyed her purple skirt, blooming a flame of flowers. She looked back at the remaining two beasts. The bloody smile spread around the corner of her mouth. In a moment, the breath was sharp and the shadow was flowing. The two beasts fell to the ground. Yunwu put away the sword. The bloodthirsty radiance of his mouth gradually turned into a sneer, and then he walked towards the dragon without looking back. What about Shangguan and Nanganji? Cloud Dance looked at the original place. Only 3 people. Eyes suddenly, or am I? Killed just now, dragged away by the beast. Dragon Ching, evil eyes slightly adrop. It seems very difficult to hide the sadness. For a moment, the cold suddenly appeared on Yunwu's body, and the purple pupil was full of the sense of killing. But the next second, she suddenly split to the dragon and scolded. Dragon, it's fun to play with me, isn't it? Don't you still cooperate with me? Let's see how tacit we are. Dragon Qingxia easily dodged a blow. The corner of his mouth was smiling, and his eyes were doting on him. Fortunately, Cloud Dance blinked, and the sadness just disappeared. Cloud Dance willow, eyebrow low. The Mao light flits over a silk helpless. In order to prevent not to use violence, she directly ignores his extremely flat appearance. They're going to solve their own rations. Don't worry about them. Let's go. Zhou Feiyu's sharp eyes, deep and terrible, awe-inspiring voice said. If it wasn't for this little thing, he would not have been an ordinary woman. He could have taken her away from inner college. Now that he has come to this place, he must improve his ability, because he didn't break through in the alien space last time. He also needs to improve his strength and bring her back to his own territory. Yunwu nods. There's no need to worry about that. Nanganji and Shangguan are few rivals. Besides, they're on the outskirts of the forest. The danger index is not too big. However, Yunwu raised her eyes and glanced at the strange woods, frowning slightly. Although I know the map of the temple is in this forest, but I don't know the details of the map. I can only look for it like a needle in a haystack. Let's go. Cloud Dance lifted eyes to see a dragon to pour evil. The eye-ground deep place is dark and cool. As soon as the dragon's evil mouth was raised, the cloud dancing waist was circled, and a touch of evil light swept through his eyes. And behind Zhou Feiyu and Lu Bai, looking at the hand and mouth corners of the dragons evil placed on the cloud dance waist, their eyes are cold and creepy. Sooner or later, the man around her must be killed. Gloomy forest, strange breath, silent people numb. Occasionally, there is a tearing howl, which makes you feel creepy in an instant. The spirit of Cloud Dance searches the forest to see if there is anything unusual. Only then can it be found that the whole forest is secluded and terrifying, with different light and shade, and sometimes strong and sometimes weak. Suddenly, she found that in the middle of the forest there was a mountain peak, which was like a mountain tower, towering into the clouds, but it was so wide that she could feel the spiritual power around the mountain. There was a trace of meditation at the bottom of her eyes. How could there be such a big mountain in the forbidden ancient Warcraft forest? Which way? Long Qingxia looks down at Cloud Dance's contemplative eyes, and the corner of his mouth outlines a perfect arc. The cloud dances back to God, looking at the two intersections in front of us, passing a trace of surprise. A path of dense fog circling. Hand cannot see 5 fingers of confusion. A path is a little dark, gray, and suffocating. This one, Cloud Dance refers to the dense fog path said. The mountain is on their left. Only this path can get there. Dragon Qing, evil, slightly jaw head. Mouth dyed with a mysterious smile. Then go this way. Cloud Dance looking at his smile. Eyebrow tip low. This man don't know she is not aimless to come here? Then she gave a deep smile. This guy is the roundworm in her stomach. What can he not guess? What's more, he knew very well about calling the temple map. After walking into the dense fog path, Yunwu suddenly finds that there is a border on the path. He wants to fly in the air unless he breaks the border. She's half squinting. Is there anyone here? Otherwise, how could it be bound? Or has the boundary existed for many years? Put away the contemplative eyes. Cloud Dance alert attention around. This path is the existence of dense fog because of the border above. Long Qingxie naturally noticed the boundary. The evil spirit's smiling eyes were slightly dark. He obviously felt the dangerous breath in front of him. This feeling was similar to that of the last time he fought against the national master Mo Yebing, but it was different. Lu Bai, who has been following the cloud dance and the dragon's evil spirits, also smells the smell. In his dark eyes, a blade of ice passes by, and it's gone in a twinkling of an eye. Zhou Feiyu looks back slightly, glances at Lu Bai beside him, then draws back his eyes, and his sharp eyes reflect on something. He obviously felt the sultry breath from Lu Bai. Although he had that kind of breath, the breath just now had made him feel a little dangerous. Who is he? After walking for a short time, looking at the trees and roads clearly visible in front of them, they found that they had walked out of the road in the border. After walking out of the dense road, Yunwu looks back and finds that the fog on the misty path has disappeared, which is no different from the ordinary road. She narrowed her eyes, stretched out a hand, and raised it slightly, but suddenly stopped in midair. Long Qingxia looked at her hand and said with a cold smile, "Don't touch it. It's a border, and it's very difficult to break." Cloud Dance lifted her eyes and forgot Dragon's evil eye. She took back her arm, and her eyes were covered with the dark light of bloodthirsty. At the corner of her mouth, she slowly outlined a cold smile. "Well, never die." Long Qingxia dropped his eyes with a smile, and an evil smile was on the corner of his mouth. He attached it to her ear and said, "Before I eat you, how can I be willing to die for my husband? How can I be willing to die for you?" Cloud Dance facial expression of black. Lift mouth to stare in one eye, sullen low voice scold away. Mouth cheap. Then he turned around and left, but at the moment when he turned around, his eyes were beautiful and his cheeks were flushed. This guy's mouth was cheap, but it didn't change at all. But Zhou Feiyu clearly glanced at the shyness of her cheek, and the anger in her heart came up. Her sharp eyes glared at the dragon. It seemed that she would do it in the next second. Dragon Qing, evil, I lighter am I. The corner of the mouth floats lazy smile. My woman is not what person can covet. The least price is opportunity. Zhou Feiyu stares at the back of the dragon as he walks away. A touch of cold spreads around him. He said opportunity? Is it difficult to all of a sudden? His eyes were cold, and his eyes were as gloomy as prison. His hands were clucking. Dragon Qing, evil mouth yang. Evil lazy lift has been slightly drooping eyes. Quickly catch up with Cloud Dance. The whole person's feelings seems to be comfortable up. Cloud Dance raised eyes to see a good mood of Dragon Qingxia. Slightly frown. Won the lotto, also not smile like this? Just as Yunwu took back Long Qingxia's eyes, a mountain in front of him stopped everyone. The Cloud Dances, the eye light is twinkling, slightly hooks the corner of mouth. Is this mountain peak? When people looked at the mountain, they were surprised that the power around the mountain was above the four of them. The mountain peak is surrounded by beautiful and visible spiritual power. It looks so bright, but they feel that in the light, there is absolute darkness. It seems that the dark atmosphere, which is ready to move and restless, wants to break through the light power, but it can't succeed. Huang Yingying, you are back at last. Suddenly, a voice of arrogance, hoarseness, and anger suddenly rang up. I could tell that this person should be old. All of them were surprised. The voice was not from outside the tower, but from the people inside the tower using their mind. Can mind be converted into sound? Cloud Dance squints at Mao's son. The surprise inside the Mao can't hide. Every time she uses mindfulness, others can't hear it. Naturally, she can't turn mindfulness into voice. But this man in the tower can turn his mind into a voice at will. However, soon Cloud Dance suddenly raised her eyes. Yellow Warbler? Isn't that the name of her mother she never met? He just said he's finally back? What do you mean? Did her mother imprison this man here? Is it possible? After she was born, her mother disappeared. So the old man has been here for at least 15 years. Ha ha. Huang Yingying, you have imprisoned me here. You think that no one can break into the border. In the end, someone has broken in? The old and hoarse voice of the tower came out again. The sound with a strong force. All of a sudden, the forest issued a buzz, constantly reverberating. The whole forest seems to suddenly flutter up. That you're tuning in to the Romance Rendezvous YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.